like that we're drinking high noons up late with friends?
Well, dude, so I'm high as fuck.
Yeah, okay.
And I've been drinking
So you probably think it's and
I've been drinking since noon.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna catch up.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just started, and this is Up Late with Friends. I'm your boy Danny Jones. We are back once again. We got my guy Frank Wolf in the house. My dude, Joey Boats, this motherfucker, he's been making his rounds around town. He's been everywhere.
Just whoring. Just
whoring himself out for the cameras.
Just getting plowed by the podcast community.
You've been deep in the podcast scene. Oh, and my dude right here, Mike Stylz, dude. A legend, been around the game for so fucking long. So happy to have you guys in studio.
A legend is allegedly.
Allegedly a legend.
But I'll take that.
But I'll take that as well. It's a pretty decent compliment. My fucking guy.
Dude, yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, 100%. So fucking Boats. What the fuck have you been up to lately, man? You got a new album that just dropped.
I got a new album that just dropped. It's the worst album of all time. This is officially the worst album of all time tour. It's called Nicotine and Pink Razors by Joey Boats. Available on all plats, I think is what they're saying now.
It covers it. And listen,
Does it slap?
It slaps.
First of all, if you're
gonna
gonna judge a book by its cover,
Yeah.
the cover of this album is pretty fucking awesome.
The cover. So that was a guy that I knew through the Pulling the Cork podcast, which you guys were going to have on before they, ended their podcast. But
Are they going to make a comeback?
they're going to make a comeback. They had like this weird eulogy podcast where it was like, we're done,
Everyone's dying.
but we're coming back in like 3 months. It was like, okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. So shout out to them. They're the best. But
honestly, I can't wait to meet those guys for sure.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, if you listen to the album, listen, I don't take myself too seriously. There's songs about like premature ejaculation, and then songs about addiction, and then songs about how I don't really care about people dying in Palestine. It's fun for the whole family. So it's like one of these weird things you can kind of get anything from it. Yeah. There's actually
I need to finish the album now.
There's a song about receding hairlines. That one's pretty good, but
no, honestly, there are definitely some tracks that are fucking pretty dope on that for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
I liked it. I really did.
No, it's good. It's well written. I'm a good lyricist, but it is weird coming on these podcasts because as we talked when we introduced ourselves, like I'm not really like everybody knows a guy that introduces himself as a rapper, and that guy's like the worst person you ever met in your life. So like I hate introducing myself as that. I also don't dress like a rapper. I know you guys had a guy on here.
You look super white, bro.
I'm the whitest dude of all time, dude. And you guys had a dude.
He's got a Kona fucking hat on, dude.
Well,
the guy loves a good
what's
light
funny
beard.
is like, dude, every time I come on these podcasts, like I'm a rapper, it's like, so I have to find the douchiest thing in my closet. So I stopped doing that. You had a guy on here 2 weeks ago dressed as like Indiana Jones. I'm like, I just stepped my shit up, dude. That dude looked fucking awesome, man.
Looks so
like,
good, dude.
He really does.
Dude, he's definitely one of the best dressers I've ever
Unbelievable.
seen in my entire
He wears crazy stuff,
Like
and he pulls it off with all the confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
He is the best suit designer in Boston by far.
Yes. Well, he hook him up with me. I mean, I could use somebody. Dude. You know what I used to do was I used to go to Old Navy and just buy whatever was on the mannequin, like the full outfit, just hope I didn't run into anybody that worked at Old Navy later in the day to get called out. Like,
You're gonna be like, you're an idiot.
I dress like Adam Sandler, dude. I don't fucking like.
You have big basketball shorts and stuff.
Yeah, dude. It's like half my wardrobe is like athletic shorts. I eat bologna. I wear cargo shorts. There's not much going on in my life, dude.
Dude, I love you, bro. That's literally what we need on this show.
Yeah, you need more autistic guys.
Yeah, man. You're fucking all right, dude. Well, so far I like this guy.
Yeah, it's going.
And Stylz, dude, you've been around forever. You have fucking made a career around this area. Everybody loves you. I mean, everyone that I've ever at least ran into that knows Mike Stylz.
you're talked about well in rooms you're not in.
Literally, always.
How about
Every single person I run into, they're always like, that guy is the best dude.
Wow. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I'm my own worst critic, so I would have to say that I don't necessarily agree with all of that. But nonetheless,
I think you're a pretty good person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I got you fooled too.
No, great DJ, great MC, and just a great guy to be around. Also, doing good work with the Good Dad Gang, correct?
Yeah, my man Terminology started that off 11 years ago now, just as a backpack giveaway in Lawrence. I think the first year he gave away 100 backpacks, and it was just to do something to help the local community. Everybody needs a backpack going back to school.
Yep.
Maybe not in the future, but there won't be as many books to be putting in the backpacks. But
Scary
nonetheless,
thought, but yes.
people
An
wanna be
iPad satchel.
even people who don't have the means want to be first day fresh. You know what I mean? And,
Of course.
So we started that, and I was, I've known Term forever, and I kind of got on him early about making it an actual nonprofit organization. So you could do more than just having this backpack giveaway, which he's done now for 11 straight years. We did over 1,000 backpacks this last one.
How awesome is that?
Tons of like free giveaways. My buddy Marlon Williams from I Love Boston Sports gave us like 700 T-shirts to give away. So he finally made it a nonprofit organization earlier this year. He named me to the board. I don't have any kids. I joke that I got a dad bod, dad jokes, and as far as I know, no kids yet. But
Still in the good dad gang, though.
But
you know
I had
what
a
mean?
good, yeah.
But I will say,
But
dude,
I had a good dad.
the amount of dad jokes you make on a regular basis, it kind of puts you in the fucking club, I would say, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely love a good pun. I think that actually comes from when I used to rap, and,
Yep.
I resemble and resent what he said about rappers because
He wears those outfits, bro.
personally, I consider myself an MC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A rapper is someone who raps, whereas an MC is someone who motivates the crowd.
And exactly.
I have no ability to motivate anybody. Like, that's where I need somebody else to speak on behalf of me, and I'll just do the rapping.
But what I love about what you've said and what I've seen and heard of you so far is that you are doing exactly kind of what I used to do, in that I wanted to be a salmon swimming upstream.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do what everybody else was doing. I wanted to do the opposite, and there's something to be said for that, because no one ever wants to have, like, if somebody's a DJ or an MC and they're like, oh, I'm the best DJ, I'm the best MC.
You're like, fuck you, dude.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
they're
why.
not.
They shouldn't have to say that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
somebody else should say that for
The
you.
people are going to be dancing if you're
But
good.
it's refreshing
Yeah.
when someone who is talented, who's coming up with some entertaining shit, is self-deprecating. I'm big into self-deprecation because it keeps you grounded. Nobody likes an ego. You know what I mean? And you can do it from a humor aspect, obviously, but it's refreshing because in hip hop, you have the entire point of like rapping is to prove that you're better than the next guy.
Yep.
You know, that's what I guess. Not initially. Initially, it was so people didn't have knife fights. They had rap battles.
Yeah,
but,
well, I
but
mean,
nonetheless,
conscious rap was there first.
Yeah.
well, initially in the Bronx, it literally was because they would rap as opposed to having gang fights.
Yeah.
It's obviously gone down all types of places.
There was definitely a lot of roads that hip hop
Good
went
and
down
bad.
for sure.
But nonetheless, like I would consider you someone who raps, and I consider you someone like you said, a lyricist, and you are MCing. And it's some good stuff. Like
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think
that was the nicest thing anybody's ever fucking said about me.
You can make the humor that
No,
MC
dude.
part
Honestly,
of it.
like
you know?
genuinely, like there's some tracks on there that I heard that I was like, yo, that was pretty fucking dope.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's like honestly, it was dope.
Yeah, no, it's well written. Like I know it's well written.
No, but it's also
just-
present. No, but like the flow and the voice, because like that's the thing is like there's plenty of rappers out there that may be able to write, but if they don't know how to flow and their voice is like corny as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
You're
boxes
definitely
you need to
white.
check to
You
be-
definitely
Yeah.
have that.
Like you can be
Yeah.
white and sound like a backpack rapper, but you have to be good and not be annoying.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think another thing is to when I first checked some of your stuff, the first thing that came to my mind was Little Dicky, and I don't say
Yeah.
that in
That's-
a bad
No,
way.
no, that's
That's
fine.
your humor. That's
But
what
here's the thing.
Yeah,
When,
you know,
when
like-
Eminem first came out, they said he sounded like Nas. When
Yeah.
Action Bronson first came out, they said he sounded like Ghostface Killer, right?
Yep.
When Your Old Droog first came out, they thought he was Nas, right?
Yeah.
So first you got to be likened to something, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
course.
But you're doing it in a way, and I'm one who I judge the shit out of anybody who writes or performs hip hop or whatever you want to call it. That you have something there that is. I totally lost my train of thought. I haven't smoked yet, so I think that I think I'm pretty high.
You're saying I was the greatest rapper.
The point is that you're doing it in a way that it is your own lane. Like it's similar to Little Dicky, but you're doing it in a way that is honest and genuine and different. And that is what will separate you if you continue to whore yourself to more than just the podcast, I think. And I love seeing people who are on the rise like that, who have a talent. And I missed a lot of people that I came up with that I couldn't see their talent. Like Terminology, when he was a kid, I met him at 16, 17 years old.
Yep.
And he was dope. You know, and he could freestyle better than I could spit writtens, but at the same time, like he was young and he did things that like weren't necessarily, you know, smart in my opinion. But yeah, and I didn't see like what he would become.
Yeah.
And so I've
But
learned
do you
that through
think that's-
Static Selecta and all these other guys, like
dude,
my friends who have gone on to do great things.
They're legends, dude. They're absolutely killing it. Like, I mean, Static has just been putting out bangers for so fucking long, dude.
I think the thing about
He's
Static,
worked with so many people,
he is and was always a true school boom bap hip hop head.
which is like
Yeah.
what I am. It's what
Well,
I
boom
love.
bap's
Not
the
what I
best
am, but it's like
era
who I
of-
am in my
The
heart.
golden age of hip hop music to me is mid '90s New York hip hop. Now, everybody obviously there's hip hop has gone everywhere in the world, but to me that's the true school. Not the
What
old
do you
school
What do
new
you
school.
think about the current state of hip hop, if it even exists? Really, I don't
It's
follow
evolved
much.
to a different thing, and
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can find people, right? But like my buddy works in the music industry. He was the guy that I visited to record and stuff. We went down to the studio in Brooklyn or whatever. And like he writes, he does, you know, he writes for people and he does whatever. But like he'll bring somebody in. I don't want to trash anybody that was there, but like there are these dudes with no musical prowess whatsoever, right? That will come in. Right. And they're cool dudes. They have a vibe. Like it's this weird thing when he walks in and it's like, what's this guy's deal? Like, what is his? Can't rap, can't do anything. Being fed lines takes 45 minutes to get a line done. And it's just like, it just feels like everything's manufactured now.
Well, Eazy-E couldn't really rap well at the beginning either. And
Yeah.
He had to be coached. But what I will say,
well, he had Ice Cube,
he had Ice Cube and he had Dre.
and he had Dre.
That's a pretty good start.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, like,
Yeah, it's not
throwing-
bad.
throwing
Yeah, it's
Yella
not a bad
and, you know,
guy.
but he was a gangster, and he was
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
And when he said that shit, he meant that shit.
Yeah.
But to the point of like, I think that when I was coming up, which was like, you know, mid to late 90s, there were gatekeepers to the industry. The first of which was like, you had to get on a show. You had to be able to prove to some promoter that you were worth being on the show.
Yep.
If you were able to get somebody to invest $3,000 or more to put you on vinyl, a record used to be the gatekeeper because it was an investment that had to be made and you had to be worthy of somebody spending
the
that.
DJ spinning it.
And the DJ spinning it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, many, if not all of the gatekeepers are gone because anyone can record on their phone.
Yeah.
Let alone in your home. You know, you don't have to go to a studio.
Yeah.
You don't even have to know how to mix or make.
You can send out mastering isn't even that expensive anymore.
you can master.
Like,
it.
you can send it out to somebody to do it for you, and it's really not that bad.
When everyone can rap and everyone can be heard almost instantaneously,
Yeah, you can
then
share
you
it.
saturated the shit out of something that used to be cool. To me, you know,
It used to be exclusive, and you had to suck someone's dick to
there
fucking
was
really
at
get in
least
the industry.
like there was a path. Like it was the same thing with comedy. Like there was like you had to get on the Tonight Show. You did 5 in the Tonight Show, and then you got a
paying your dues,
sitcom,
paying your dues.
or you went to SNL, and there was like 2 lanes you could go. But now, like you said, that oversaturation, like
you used to have
anybody.
to pay dues.
So,
you
but
don't anymore.
Okay,
No.
but all right. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. I just think the dues are different because now you're right. There is an oversaturation. So we have to post more content. We have to do 10 different jobs in order to make your career actually blossom. So like you're not just a rapper now. You are your own creative director and fucking editor and manager and everything
That is a big
because
piece
your
of- you
team.
mentioned
But it's
social
a team
media.
sport.
It's a
right?
team-
Social media is a big.
That's what I'm saying. So like, but
piece of it.
obviously everybody wants a team. I would love to have a team to help me with all the things I do. And of course, to grow anything, it's not going to be just you. And that's why I believe in teamwork, and I believe in even just podcasting in general. And why I do this is because I know that I can't do this on my own. I need a network of awesome fucking people that are good at their own little things that can make this machine work. So like, I'm trying to build a fucking super team of my fucking people that do things, right? So ultimately that's the goal. But like in the beginning, to get noticed, be in this oversaturated fucking world, in podcasting, in DJing, in fucking rapping, whatever creative space, if you want to be an artist, a painter, like the amount of work you have to do at this point doesn't even have to reflect what you're actually putting your work into. You have to do so much work on the outside on everything else, learning how to run ads and target friggin' people, be your own marketing
And then your
company.
music still needs to be
and
fucking
the music
on point.
still has to be on fire. So like, you might not be paying your dues because like I don't have to suck P Diddy's dick to get fucking noticed anymore.
By the way, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I have no reservations about it.
Couldn't we see that coming? This guy's calling
Everyone.
himself Diddy. Like
Yeah,
Diddy,
yeah.
apparently he did.
Yeah, he
right?
did.
Like,
By the
he
way,
did. He did that
those
shit.
those parties were probably awesome.
Probably awesome,
Let's
dude.
before the
Dude.
sex trafficking,
No, but, like,
obviously,
they
but
had-
prior to that, I mean, they would have been pretty sick.
The ice
bro.
luges those guys had were exceptional.
Yeah, we all would have
they had,
went.
Like they had some
And the fact that nobody went to those parties, like anybody that comes out, like, dude, it's gonna
Everybody
It's
went
the
to
same
those
thing with
parties.
Epstein Island. Like, it's gonna come out. Just because you were there doesn't mean you are partaking in the sex
Well, the
trafficking
thing,
or whatever.
it took
Just-
30 years to figure out. I mean, there were always whispers of what Diddy was, the Diddy parties, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
30 years. They went on for 30 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
30
He
years.
was
You're
an
telling me
industry
none of those
gatekeeper,
people-
and you had, if you wanted to make it in the industry,
There's a
you had
gatekeeper.
to get down or lay down,
There's a
right? Like,
gatekeeper right there.
Definitely, but that's where I guess in a way. I mean, again, there's levels to every game that we're in. Like
levels to the shit, man.
There really is. So it's
dude,
like
absolutely.
for us, like we're doing it independently and trying to grow a small following and stuff like that. But
But that's the
But
right
Diddy
way. That's
hit
the right
us
way.
up.
But
Yeah.
skipping steps will only get you so far for a minute.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Ultimately, you will be discovered.
100%.
For what you are.
no, right.
You're gonna get
So-
lucky at some point. If you just keep throwing shit at the wall, something's gonna stay.
As long as we can just
what
be
I did in college.
authentic.
Yeah.
Like again, like everyone tries to say they're authentic and they're just trying to be themselves. It's like realistically, it's
If
just
anyone says that, then they're not.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Because you should be able to have someone else say that for you, as opposed to you having to say that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right? If you're
Exactly.
authentic, if you're a good person, if you're a good DJ,
Yep.
let somebody else run tell that. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
I think one thing about the evolution of music, the industry, all the things that have happened, and like, you know, specifically hip hop, today, the best rappers are better than the best rappers of past generations, and the worst are way worse.
Yeah.
And that's happened because when I was coming
I agree with that statement.
You saying the older
Thoroughly,
guys are
I
better.
agree with that statement.
I think
Yeah.
that when I was coming up, the old school was the late 70s, early 80s. And then when you heard those artists trying to rap in the mid 90s, it was like very archaic. You know,
Yeah,
hip-hop,
well, no,
right. And then you heard
Yeah.
multi-syllabic rhymes coming from guys like Redman and then, of course, Eminem and
Yes.
whatnot. And then so the game evolved.
Yep.
And then when I used to try to get on, you had to battle, right? And back then it was freestyle battles over beats, okay? So not written battles a cappella, which
Yeah.
is what has become today
That's really what it is.
where you had to size up your competition in a matter of minutes and come up with something funny or have something in the bank, right?
Yeah.
Which absolutely.
Well, because you might know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
That was the thing. If people knew, if
Yeah,
you
you
had
had
a
to
name, you was actually
research.
you had a target in your back.
Yeah.
Right. Now these artists who do like the King of the Dot and all the really big battles,
They're all a cappella, which I
they're
don't
writing.
love.
They're writing 5 100-bar rhymes
Yeah.
about the intricacies of this person's life down to minutia of like their left testicle is bigger than their right.
Yeah.
What time they
And-
pick up their
and-
kid from school.
And they're funny.
It might be
They're
that's
funny.
cool.
But they
Yeah.
memorize that shit too,
Yeah.
and then they never get to say those rhymes again, right? Because it was just for that.
Yeah.
So that like I would not try to battle today.
Yeah.
Okay. In that realm.
I've seen that world, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some very talented guys, and and I've seen them. But like, I actually most of the time enjoy hearing those guys on their tracks more than.
Who are we talking about?
So I have a couple friends. Well, not friends, but kids I know that they are. They're like they're these twins, and they do rap battles, and they're doing acapellas
Against each other?
Yeah.
No.
Twins
Well,
that-
they're in
oh, okay.
they're in like a league. There's leagues.
absolutely,
and stuff.
exactly.
There's leagues and stuff, right? And like they're in a league. Again,
I used to host for the 413 Battle League, the 413,
Yep.
the area code, but also how many people actually watched each
The
video.
type of battles you guys are talking. Are you talking about like Roan and like those type of like that type of?
like acapella freestyle battles.
Today that's what it's become.
Yeah,
Back in the
yeah.
day, it was.
Unless you're going
Which
on like
it's a different
Sway.
thing.
Absolutely.
It's an entirely different
And I'm
discipline.
not trying to
'Cause
sound
they-
like
they
the
both
dad
are-
who is mad at like rock
Like
and
Token
roll.
does.
It's
because
like,
it's
no,
different.
it's like a theatrics thing
Well,
too.
I
like
always,
100%.
I always tell
100%.
people like
Yeah.
everybody like prioritizes freestyling like it's this big thing. Like if I show up to a podcast like this, it's like I'm gonna give you some written stuff. I want to give you my
Absolutely.
best fucking
I
stuff.
love that.
But that guy Harry Mack, right? So freestyling is an entirely different
His
discipline.
brain is bonkers.
His brain, the way he does it,
wild.
but he's so he has rhymes. He has 5,000 premeditated rhymes in his head
Yeah.
that he can
That
pull
he
out
can
in any
manipulate.
fucking moment.
Correlates
It's a
words into it
completely
that weren't
different
there.
skill set,
Yeah.
and he's fantastic at doing it. And people, you know, anybody that says that other people are freestyling, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like everything's pre-written, which I like. Give me your
I
best
have
stuff.
no
Give me a
issue with
fastball.
pre-written bars. That's never been an issue. The point I think you're trying to make is just like they're in these battle situations, like freestyling and spitting a good like 32 bars for us is fucking phenomenal. But like. There's so many DJ or so many rappers back in the day that were just like spitting off the top about like the shirt.
They
that
would
you were
Yeah,
they would
yeah,
hear
it
a
was
beat-
crazy.
They would hear
Yeah.
a beat
Original.
and just flow with
Right.
it.
And
It was a
just
different
worked,
thing.
and it was just like this thing, and it was just a
Came
different
from
feel.
battling in the streets.
Yeah.
You know, like the best one block would meet the best of the other, and you find out who's better.
Yeah.
And there were legendary, battles like that.
Yeah.
And today it's just different, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Well,
and
the videos too.
It's elevated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with written rhymes. Written rhymes, you're going to be able to put way more into it than you can freestyling. But all of these things are what encompasses being an MC.
Yes.
To be able to freestyle, not everybody has that skill set.
Yeah.
To be able to write, not everybody has that skill set. The voice, Guru, rest in peace. It's mostly the voice that gets you up. It's mostly the voice that makes you buck. A lot of rappers got flavor and some got skills, but if your voice ain't dope, then you need to chill.
Well, it's, you know what? It's similar. It's like, you ever seen like Whose Line Is It Anyway? That was pretty. You ever seen like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like those guys. On Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like they're great at improv or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They're not making movies and stuff. It's a different discipline. Like that's the
You don't see 'em in
freestyle.
Similar, though.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's like freestyling to writing. It's very similar. It's like, okay, those guys are
Freestyling
great.
and improv is
That's right. Exactly.
It's
It's
basically the
had
same.
to do that
the
on
only thing
Whose
you're
Line.
doing is you're doing it in a cadence.
Yeah,
as
and
opposed to just
Wayne
conversation.
Brady used to do it. He used to
He
do
was
the
so
singing
good at it.
on.
He
Yeah,
was so good at it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's pretty much the one that made it though. Like, is outside of.
No,
Yeah.
Ryan Stylz did make it.
those-
Wayne Brady
all
gonna have to
those
choke a
guys
bit?
with the Drew. They were on the Drew Carey show
No.
before that show even existed.
Yeah, but they're not
They're all
like big,
Yeah, but
big.
again,
Like they're not
Ryan
like.
Styles. Did he really like fucking blow up in any other thing besides?
You know
that?
Ryan Styles from Whose Line Is It
Like, it was
Anyway?
on Drew
We're
Carey
saying his
show as
name
a
in
fucking-
Well, they were all,
2025.
they were all
Yeah.
established comedians prior to that, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
that was
okay.
that was a
Oh,
90s
stand-up. Yeah, maybe
yeah, they were
were
all
in the stand-up
established
scene.
comedians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
That's
sense.
why they were also on.
A guy like
established
Steve, well,
comedians.
they all did. That's where all those people came from, basically improv, like Chicago, like City in Chicago,
City,
or
yep.
Second City in Chicago, like fucking Steve Carell, huge improv guy. Amy
From Acton,
Poehler,
Massachusetts.
huge, huge improv guy. Steve Caroselli, I think his actual name is. I think he changed.
okay.
I hate when Italians
didn't know
fucking
that.
pull that shit. It's like just keep it. But yeah, no, I mean that's where you build like your stage presence and stuff like that. Like.
Yeah.
With the rapping stuff, like I came on here, I already told him I'm like nervous as fuck about doing this rap because I don't do this type of stuff. I can do it in my car 50 times over, but doing it in front of people, it's like a different muscle.
It's only different if you make it different.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm making it a hell of a
And
lot
I
different.
understand
Just
that because
picture
I know
us
what that's
naked.
like. So
Yeah.
I'll give you guys.
I always
me
envied the dudes that sucked, but they had no problem doing this in like public. Like I knew a ton of people that sucked at rapping, but they would get up like they were like the next best thing, and it's like, man, if I had a little bit of that,
Yeah.
The
like, it'd
fact
be
that
great.
you take the time to do it 100 times on your own,
Yeah.
shows that you
important.
care,
Yeah.
and you want it to be perfect.
Appreciate it.
But the difference between you thinking you can or you can't
Okay,
do it is if you think you can or you can't, you're right.
yeah,
So
Facts.
that's from a car commercial, but I love that shit. That shit is real.
That quote's much older than the
Shout out Honda.
Fair enough. But my
It's
point
much older than
being,
that.
if you come in here saying, I can't do this live,
Yeah.
you're probably going to have a problem with it. And if
Yeah.
you come in here saying, I'm the dopest motherfucker who ever did this shit, whether you believe it or not,
Yeah.
then you're probably going to hit it. And,
You're
and
right.
manifesting is really, real. So I'll give you a quick, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But
Yeah.
I
No,
guess
go for it.
And I'll have a dick joke in a minute. I know we're,
Oh, yeah. I've been
we're
waiting
a little
for
bit, we're a little bit
penis.
over.
penis.
All right. So I went to a Red Sox game a few years ago, and I with a couple friends, and my goal was from the beginning of the night. I said, "I'm getting a ball tonight. I'm getting a ball. I'm getting a ball." Like we know the secret, the book, and the movie, right?
Yeah.
Positive thoughts, positive actions. Ask and you shall receive from the universe.
Yep.
So we had seats in the center field bleachers. Unless it was a mammoth home run, we weren't getting a ball. Kike Hernandez is playing center field. I'm yelling at him. I'm like, "Tira mi la pelota." Just trying, he speaks English, but he if I was saying it in Spanish, maybe he'd throw me a ball. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
So then, rain happens. Rain delay. Hour and a half rain delay. Half of the crowd disperses. We now don't need to sit in the bleachers. So I'm like, well, we're going to go into the grandstands. And initially we went in the grandstands under the overhang and because it was raining, but I said, we're not going to get a ball up here. And I just literally took myself, my girl, my good friend, and his now wife, and they followed me. And we just walked down and I just looked at Rose and I looked around and I just said, this is the one. And we're going to sit right here. And we sat there and there was 4 of us and I was the one farthest from the aisle. And sure enough, I want to say within, I don't know how many pitches it was, but like 3 to 5 pitches after we got there,
Yeah.
a ball is hit. It's people in front of me, many rows. I just start walking to a point where I know it's going to be. I swear to God, right?
Yeah.
And people are in front of me and they're all trying to, and I'm like, it's going to go over their heads and it's going to bounce and it's going to come to me. And that's exactly what happened. Okay? And I did a bow. Okay? I caught it on a bounce, right? Yeah. But to me, they didn't know, but I was letting them know, like, I just manifested the fuck out of this. Okay? And that, like, so this is getting on a tangent, but like, people, you know, religion, what do you believe in? Do you believe in it or not? Or are you spiritual? I believe in the Force.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Star Wars, you know, baby.
Nice, dude. Turn your damn phone off.
Inappropriate.
Do we have the Jada Kiss and Joe flags
What
to throw
is
here?
that?
Like,
So inappropriate.
that's a red
Horrible,
flag.
dude.
That's a red card.
Awful.
No, but like, so you can absolutely make something to reality, but you have to believe, and that's kind of what the Force is about.
Yeah, but he told me that his album is the worst of all time, and that he's gonna fucking fail.
But that's
That's the first thing I said. I was like, so I suck.
But he can say that, and that is irreverent. If he believes that, then that's a different story.
No. If you had my intrusive thoughts, I actually have a pretty high.
I will say,
I just like
And rightly so, because
it's not conducive.
You'd be wasting your talent if you didn't think
Yeah.
that you were capable. You said yourself, you know, I'm an excellent lyricist. Like, and that's a different thing. You can say that because you know you are. Usually, the people who say they're excellent at something aren't, and that's another difference.
That's the problem. You know what else we getting back to what we were talking about. I think a lot of like getting big now, like you said, like it's all oversaturated. A lot of it is like due to the algorithm now is homogenized. Like you're de-incentivized. Like these algorithms have de-incentivized uniquity to the point where like you are incentivized to just do what everybody else is doing, following the trends and stuff. That's how you get pushed out. So it's kind of tough. Like if you want to do something unique or different, it's not going to get the same traction as like, oh, here's
not from the
song.
algorithm, but the humans.
Yeah.
The humans may not
You'll
see
get
it,
a
and that's why you got to
grassroots.
play out.
Yeah.
And you got to work your shit, right?
Yeah.
You got to work hard. You can't skip
I
steps.
need you in my ear like constantly.
I'm right here.
Fucking like
I'm not going to get much closer.
Yeah. You don't want.
I like you, but not that much.
This is about as close as we're getting here tonight. But, yeah, but
I don't want to rain in your parade, but
It's all right. It's all right.
no, but I mean, it's okay. Like, the reality is that it's pretty hard. No matter what we do, these intrusive voices are gonna keep coming, and you just gotta keep telling yourself that you're gonna make it regardless.
Yeah, you have
right?
to.
Like, for
You
me,
have to be crazy.
Yeah, you have to have just this extra like gear that like you can push yourself into when you know that things are fucking going down in the dumps, like you're fucking broke and you're like
the power of the human mind though is absolutely incredible, and you can have all the AI in the world, but the human mind has a power to, if you believe, you can do things that nobody ever thought were possible.
And you have to believe it.
And if you don't, you won't do shit.
Yeah, you have to. Like you have to have, like for me, like I just have this like thing inside me that just will not make me quit. Like even though we're going through ridiculous.
I had that.
Yeah. Like I mean, again, it's just
if I could do absolutely nothing, I would do absolutely nothing.
Dude.
No, so I mean,
But
like
that's the difference between you and-
there's days where I've like been like, man, I would love to put a bullet in my head, but then there's days where I'm like, no, I'm not
can
gonna
talk about that.
No, my point is like I don't want that either.
These are like therapy
I don't want
That would
calls.
technically be giving up.
I don't want no right.
I have this crazy tenacity
there's
to
days
just
that
sit
you're
on
doing
a
it all
beach and
wrong.
do
You know what I'm
nothing.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I may want to, but I know I'm not going to give up because I have things that I'm here for, and I have bigger things that I want to.
Everybody
do.
needs a purpose.
Right? So like that wasn't always the case in my life. Now I have things that I really fucking want. Right? And so that's what's making it a reality where I'm like, even when I'm like, this thing could be done, I'm not gonna let it quit. Like,
And you're gonna have to eat shit for a while.
You have to.
You have to eat shit.
Because if you don't and you make it, you will.
You don't deserve it.
You'll be that one-hit wonder.
You'll have
Here's
the
an example.
imposter syndrome going on.
So Sammy Adams, when he first came out, right? The knock on Sammy Adams initially was that his first successful Billboard charting song
was like 18.
was a result of a secret shopper program that basically they paid people to go buy this on iTunes and they'd send them a gift card. Okay, whether the story is true or not, that basically is how he. But here's the thing: if he was not talented, that would have worked initially.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Okay. But the dude can rap.
Yeah.
And he had a style to him. Now,
But even when he was young, it was just catchy. Like there was a thing
That
like,
I Hate College
But
song
the point
was
is,
so catchy.
he skipped
dude.
some steps, but he he didn't stick around because he skipped steps. He stuck around because he could rap, and he was a hard worker, and all of those things. But you will, if you are looking for fame, you will be found out if you are not what you allege to be.
1,000%.
And the thing about fame is everybody wants it till they got it and they can't control it. And I had a little piece of that in the past, like when I was coming up rapping, and enough to realize that like I didn't want to be famous. You talked at the top of the show about, I'm this local guy. I'm happy to be that. I
don't mean that.
No, I mean I didn't take it in a bad way.
I also thought it was disrespectful.
Yeah, that's what I almost walked off the set, to be perfectly honest.
I'm local because he only books me locally.
No.
My point is though,
when I said, I didn't say you were a local DJ or MC. I said like locally the people that know you.
Yeah, but
like
here's the point.
I'm saying like our friend group.
My whole shit is you gotta know me.
Before.
I don't do marketing. I don't do promotion. You have to know me. If you want to book me, you have to know me, because if I'm out there like, oh, can I DJ your show? Can I do this? Can I do that? You're like everybody else, okay? Now, I was very lucky that I built a name for myself in rap, so that when I started a DJ, I didn't have to pay as many dues because I had a name and I'd been on the radio and things like that. But ultimately, you have to work at it, and you have to be ready for what comes of whatever you make it. Yeah. So for me, I knew I was good at rapping, but I knew I wasn't built for it. I gave the analogy 100 times. You could go to the YMCA and play pickup basketball Monday through Saturday, drop 40 points every night. Yep. Okay, you're not going to the NBA on Sunday.
No.
Because every YMCA down the road has a guy just like you, right? Yeah. And they're all around the world. Now, with that said, if you're trying to make it, then you're going to go to those other YMCAs, or you're going to, find yourself. But if you're just staying in that one place, that's where you're going to be. For me, I didn't want to have my life scrutinized and be under, feel like I had to wear something different when I go to the store because I didn't want somebody to see me wearing the same shit the last time.
You can buy Ralph Lauren anywhere in this country.
Well, if you want to get on the polo, I literally have enough polo to be on 700 episodes of the show. And wear
this is the same thing I wore in the last podcast. I swear to God, I was looking in the mirror being like, should I wear this again? And I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Dude, you know what? You look good in plaid.
Thank you. I appreciate it, dude.
Mike's had polo on every time I've...
Yeah. Well, you can get away with that. You can be like a polo guy and just get away. Dude, I went through a phase where I got hammered one night and just bought a bunch of those old like And One t-shirts that were like, like they call me chairman of the
fire, though.
Those, dude, I thought it'd be a funny bit if I wore nothing but like those old And One shirts that were just like, they call me like Windex because I clean the boards. And
dude, those are
I saw your name on this milk carton like missing. And they came from China they came from China like 3 months later.
But those are probably all triple XL, and you could put on 400 pounds.
Yeah, dude. It was
like brand, No Fear.
No Fear.
Crazy like
Big Dog. Remember Big Dog?
A guy like
all the
playing basketball against a chair or something. It'd be so stupid.
There's remember Tap Out had their thing. It was a bunch of kids that couldn't fight, but they'd wear Tap Out.
Same with dude. You didn't go out in Boston without seeing kids in Affliction.
Affliction, Tap Out, same brand.
All that crazy fuck. Like,
see, that's the thing I love about polo though, is that I've never changed.
Timeless.
Yeah, it's timeless. It's clean.
You can be. So here's the thing. Why is Tommy not here, but Ralph still is, right? Ralph makes art that is timeless. You can be baptized in it. You can be married in it. You can be buried in it, and everywhere in between. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to get new clothes every few years as the styles change. I literally will pull out shirts from 20, 25 years ago.
And it's cool because it's vintage at that point.
That's not why it's cool. It's cool because it was dope to begin with, and it's timeless. And now it's vintage. Yeah. And now if I want to sell it on eBay, I can get a lot more than I paid for it.
I got a rule, like if I can't wear it at 50, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of, what's funny is we talked about this last time, but there was like, you ever see like rockers, like those guys, like guys from Kiss and stuff when they're like 70 and they still got to go out in the makeup and shit. It's it's got to be a shitty life. Like, what's his name? Steven Tyler looks like he's selling like fucking dream catchers on Mass Ave right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but that's just what he looked like that 25 years ago. Though.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you just have to still live that lifestyle. Like a lot of these, like we were in Boston the other day, we saw these protesters all dressed like crazy. It's like you can't wear that at 50. No. Like eventually you got to give it up. And I don't want to be the guy that has to give it up. So I'm just going to dress 50 right now.
No, that's fair. I mean, the punk rock kids definitely went through a phase for sure.
Yeah.
That style has never changed.
Oh, I
I
dress
know
like a wigger
That's
for
been
like.
going since
No, but I'm saying
the
there are-
70s.
No, but
Is
I'm
the
saying there's so
denim-
many people that
denim
dress that
vests
way,
and-
and then 10 years later they don't dress.
Well,
that
now isn't it
Oh,
goth
fair,
and emo
fair,
more
fair.
than, like
I'm not saying the style has remained the same. You're still wearing the studded jackets.
what
if you're
was
in
the
the
Yeah.
hip hop has gone through everything from the
That hip-hop's
baggiest of
changed.
baggy to the skinniest of skinny
Yeah.
jeans.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the
You know,
baggies
Jenko
coming
jeans are
back.
back, baby.
Yeah,
I just keep all my shit like basically because if it's not in style, it will be again. At some
Yeah,
point.
you
At some point.
save it, put it in the back burner. It'll be back in 5
all my
years.
non-polo. that
I
was
can't.
it.
The baggy jeans are back. I'm not doing it.
Wait, they're
Not
back.
gonna-
See, I have no
Oh,
fucking.
dude, yeah, it's-
I haven't
yeah.
changed my jean
Baggy
size in
jeans are
fucking
back, dude.
10 years.
They're
Like,
like 514s,
Yeah.
like, and
I'm
I'll,
good. Oh,
you know,
yeah, all
like
day.
I don't
Yeah.
need to, like that's I don't. Why, how are you gonna keep up? I think what changed for me was like the pandemic. I had a realization that like you don't need to be fly all the time. Like when pandemic hit, we stopped worrying about a lot of
Yeah,
things.
the athleisure
Yeah.
came
And I'm
out,
like-
and everyone's like, "Dude, let's just stay in these."
yeah, like wait a second, you just wear sweatpants?
yeah.
Easily over $100,000 on polo in my life, and like, what is it really got? Now, I
bet
like
it's
the
more than
collection,
that.
and I can sell it and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, it's not gonna put food on my table. Otherwise, I'm not. I don't. I don't need that. So, like I said, now I just wear my old polo, whatever. But I think that. Now another moment where
I think also-
I love that I put my hand up because just cut this.
No.
What? No.
Dude, that's
my
how
train of thought is derailed.
The show,
No,
the
it's
show
fine.
flows. That's exactly how it
Potholes
goes.
in my mental highway.
Yeah, it's good.
Sorry, I can't do that. You're a dumb bitch.
Pauly Shore's mom's name. You can't find that on the internet.
No, you can, but
Yeah.
you can't. I just got a 17 Pro Max, and Siri fucking is
I just got the same phone. Yeah, I just.
I
got
think
it.
it's Mitzi. It is. It's Mitzi.
Okay, we were
Mitzi
close.
Shore.
We were all
Mitzi
close.
Shore. Yeah.
Mitzi Shore. Yeah.
Yeah,
like that.
they had a documentary in the Comedy Store on
it's great.
Paramount.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And then everyone left California.
Yeah.
Well, comedian.
Everybody's
left.
fleeing from California.
What's the new hub? I mean, obviously
Austin, Texas.
Well,
It's
Austin,
Texas, yeah.
Austin, Texas is where the Joe Rogan crew is going for sure.
It is
comedy, yeah.
Like if you
Well,
are
New York still has a fucking scene.
Yeah, but
bro.
New York has
Yeah.
always had a scene.
Yeah.
But if you want to go dedicate, well, I guess you could still. do
LA
it in
has
New
a
York.
scene. New York has a scene.
Comedy-
but Austin,
yeah,
yeah.
It's still like there's so many people.
Providence has a really good scene. These
You want
days.
to talk about gatekeepers? You were saying but Rogan is like on a different planet, right?
Yeah, I mean the podcasting
Comedy still has the
large.
gatekeepers.
To make
you
it on
still
his
have to put in the
podcast.
If you get on Rogan's
Right.
pod, that's how you sell books. That's how you sell a TV show.
everything.
You know, like
Yeah, he's definitely a gatekeeper for sure, but he's the guy that has the biggest reach. I mean,
yeah, and like he scares like these major news organizations because he
well,
pulls
podcasts
numbers.
in general are doing that. Like,
That's what it is,
dude.
That won
he
the
had
election,
fucking-
man, dude. Like it's just
JD Vance is going on fucking Theo Vaughn on
Yeah.
a regular basis. Like, dude, what?
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
It's a weird concept.
Some of it is
I don't.
Yeah.
Let's just,
that's part of the machine. When you start getting these guys on and you're fucking
Yeah.
whether you're left or right, I don't care.
Yes.
yeah.
If you have some guy on spitting his thing the whole time,
Yeah.
to me you're a cog in the machine. 'Cause
I
it's like
I agree.
You're
And
part of it.
I could care less either way. I have my own beliefs. You're not going to change my belief. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe through conversation, but it's not going to be.
I do
through the internet,
respect
I'm
these
not changing
politicians.
my
I do
beliefs.
respect them though. For,
Did you just say you
Just
respect
for-
politicians?
no, I'm not. I respect them.
I almost like this guy.
I respect the fact that they'll go on to something that isn't completely scripted for
Well, so
an hour.
yeah, but so now that's where I'm wondering where it changes because of the fact that they're becoming so they're gonna pay out. They're paying
Yeah.
these guys massive amounts of money to do these things.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, no, Joe Rogan has already. It's open information that like
He doesn't need to take the money, but you
Kamala
tell me-
Harris tried to pay money to go on the and have set questions, and he's like, absolutely.
doesn't
yeah,
have
he's
to
like,
do
we're not going to do.
he doesn't
Yeah.
have to do. I'm talking
Which
about.
I respect that.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
the industry
like-
in general, right? People are paid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
forever.
So I'm not saying that they take.
Wait, what?
I'm saying like they're paid to the point where they can be manipulated to say what they want you to say.
yeah,
Like,
that's also been
Yeah.
going on.
right. So what I'm
forever.
saying is that now the podcasting world, which was an underground kind of feel at first, where politicians and major corporations wouldn't want to fucking be a part of what we're saying, like now they're the major cogs
that
in the
makes me
machine.
think. I just
Yeah.
saw.
They're bigger than
What's
regular media.
Oh fuck, I can't think of his name. Andy. He has his own podcast. He blew up during COVID. He's got the
Huberman?
mustache. No, I love him.
Huberman's great.
Yeah, he's very
Huberman's a
smart.
dog.
No, he's a comedian.
Schultz.
Schultz.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Andrew. Yeah.
Dude, he had the guy that's whatever. It's going to turn into a political thing, but he just had the guy that's running for New York City mayor on.
Was it Mandani?
Yeah,
Did you
and
guys
there's-
watch the New
and
York
there's
mayoral
Dude,
debate?
I was
that.
cringing during that whole thing, and
Yeah.
it's like the stuff he said, and not to make it a race thing, but he's like talking about like the citizens here feel like they're being pushed out, and it's like, dude, like New York City has continuously over the last 50 years pushed
everybody.
Yeah, it's called
everyone's out.
gentrification. It happens everywhere.
like that is
Like,
what is going on
Everything you
and
can't
has been
Boston
going on.
too, and
for-
it's just what happens.
But like, and for him to sit there and be like, "Our people," and he's
Major
dude,
cities have to be
no,
implants
I
because it's
disagree.
too
Like
expensive
you're
to live
not
there.
a New York City.
Yeah.
You're not multiple generations. Like you're not it. You're not
Yeah.
the guy speaking for New York City.
No, he's a lunatic. I wanted the guy that just kept bringing up that he was getting, like, they kept like be like, you take taxis, and the guy was like, oh, I've taken a taxi, and they get to the end guy, he's like, I was shot by John Gotti
That
in
guy's
19
actually
He's like, I was
hilarious.
shot by John
He's
Gotti
an
in
OG,
1996.
So he is an OG New York City
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He, was
He
part
is
of-
New
I
York.
forget
Like
what
that
the-
guy.
I forget what the group's called, but
Guardian Angels.
yes, yeah, he was a member of the. Or
Yo,
maybe
did
still
those
is.
guys get their
That
asses
guy's a
kicked?
They used
G.
to wear like a beret. And
Dude, those guys got their asses kicked
He cares
sometimes.
about
They were like
everyone. Like
they
I
were
like
the
that
good
guy.
vigilantes, you know.
Yeah, no,
on the
right,
street.
exactly.
And,
It's like the biggest neighborhood watch of all
But
time.
you're right.
Yeah.
If
Those
he
guys got
tells you
rocked
anything,
a lot,
He tells you
though.
that he rides the subway every day and still does. Like
Yeah.
I got shot by John Gotti about 25 years ago. Every time they asked him a
That's
question,
awesome,
they were like,
man.
what's a... You know, dude, I missed the only debates I really liked was when Trump was coming up, when it was just 9 guys and it was just basically a roast.
Everyone was shitting.
It was
on
like
each other.
only Rosie O'Donnell. Like, it was just nothing. Like, dude, he bullied Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush was like, I came
Dude, he
from,
was
we need to
done.
facilitate a socioeconomic. And then he was like, Jeb, you're a loser, Jeb. Jeb, and stuff him in a locker, Jeb, loser. And then, like, the crowd would just go fucking nuts.
How about listening to him and Biden talk about who's better at
yeah,
golf?
I know your
for
swing. I
7
like your
minutes.
swing. I know your swing.
7 minutes. Who's better at golf?
Yeah. Well,
Sick, dude.
I mean, the thing is that
Come
so
on,
many
man.
Americans do want to know that.
yeah. I would like to see Trump can play, dude.
He
can
is
play.
good at golf.
He
He's
can
good
play.
at golf.
The guy's got game.
And you know
He can
what?
cheat with the best of them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
There's videos
Oh,
of
plenty
him
of videos.
where,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
people are like, "Boop."
But
He
you know
can-
what?
he
If
can-
you're not cheating, you're not trying.
It doesn't look clean, but he can. I watched that thing with him and DeChambeau where
No,
he
I've
was like,
definitely
"Yeah,
seen him.
we put 2 trees over there. They say I have the best course, but I don't know. I don't make courses." And he was just sitting there. It's weird to see him when there's like not somebody trying to get him actively impeached. Like he's just kind of an old guy. Like
Yeah.
it's weird. Like, but then you see him on the funniest video Trump ever did was like a week before the election. I don't know if you guys can pull in clips, but he's sitting in front of a jet and he's like, I just got a job at McDonald's. He's like, Kamala said she'd work there, but she didn't work there. I'll see you at McDonald's. And he just turns around, gets on a jet, and it's like, what the fuck? And then an hour later, you see him on Instagram being
He's
like,
at McDonald's.
he's like, I could make these fries. I make great fries. Everybody loves the fries. And it's just like, and it's like 3 days before the election. I'm like, is this fucking real, dude?
It was.
It
I
was
remember
awesome.
that. It
I'm
was
like,
awesome.
we are living, because I'll do the Trump impression, and it's like, you know, I always used to give SNL shit for not being able to have better content, but there's nothing that I can say into this microphone right now that's going to be funnier than what he says tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because
Correct.
it's real.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it's actually happening. Like, I made a joke about him dealing with aliens,
Yeah.
and then like a week later, he's like, we are starting the Space Force, and it's going to be big. It's going to be a celestial war fleet. We're going to battle these Tralfamadorians. By the way,
You do it so
by the way, it's
I
very...
can close my eyes.
I'll tell you how to do Trump, dude. It's a lot of this, and it's gonna go. You're gonna go in, out, and everything is slightly off. But then when he gets excited, he gets really high. But then when he gets very disappointed, when he talks about the media, it gets very low. It's very bad. It's very bad. But we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna do
That
it
is
quick
an
and
impression
easy.
the likes of which we've
That's-
never seen before.
Dude, that's top tier.
It's the
That's
best
top tier.
impression you've ever seen. Dude, I did a top 10 Trump impersonation contest at the Laugh Factory down in LA.
Yeah.
There was like, I just put my fucking video out there. I got contacted back, and it was just me and like 10 other autistic guys. Like Daryl Hammond was like was one of the judges. Now, there was a guy doing a show as Trump on Comedy Central at the time, and I kind of figured out, I'm like, okay, this is just for marketing for him, because the guy basically won before he stepped in the door or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it was still a fun opportunity, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he that good?
No. No.
That's why they did
I
the
actually
contest.
rapped as Trump on stage at the Laugh Factory. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're not afraid to get on stage if that's the case. I mean, we were
No,
fucking
no.
Up Late with Friends, and you were at the Laugh Factory. Like,
we
fuck
were,
you, dude.
Well, we were
Like,
talking about like what he said, like when you were like when I got famous, like the closest I ever been to that was I did this thing called Barstool Idol, where there was like Barstool does like this talent search or whatever. I made it to the final 3, but like, dude, you go from having no Twitter followers. That's why my name's Joey Boats, by the way. They're like, you need a Twitter handle. And I'm like, I don't have a Twitter. And they're like, you don't have a Twitter and you're at the Barstool competition. Like, get a Twitter. And I looked up Joey Bags. I couldn't find anything. And I was wearing a boat shirt at the time. And I was like, all right, Joey Boats. And like, that's it. Like, and then it was just stuck.
Determined to
And
be-
now it's just Joey Boats.
And now it's floating your boat. You know?
It's floating my boat.
Yeah.
But one of the things we were talking about, that we were talking about the time you put into getting it right. I think there is something to be said where if you're going to perform something and it's going to, that one time that you perform it, it's going to be out there forever. You definitely put more emphasis on getting it perfect.
Yes.
Than you do if you're just doing something impromptu.
Yeah.
And
That's his
is-
personality.
Yeah. No, I just think in general the same thing. Like for me, when I was in the studio, I had to do many, many takes because I needed to have it perfect.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was going to live forever. That take. You know what I mean?
I can see you being anal in the
Oh my God.
in the fucking studio.
Waste a lot of time and money in the studio, on things that.
Run it back.
I think we're really close now. You know. No, that wasn't.
It's a weird, rapping's a weird skill set. Like anytime I meet somebody that like used to rap or do something, I can already tell like you have to be a certain level. There's so many rappers that turn into good podcasters and they're also funny dudes. There's something about the skill set of like just sitting down in front of a fucking blank sheet of paper and writing shit down and like
If you're a
trying to make
writer.
some. And also it's timing. Like timing is
100%.
so important for rapping, but it's so
With or
important
without
for
the beat.
comedy.
I was gonna say that's the correlation of comedy and rapping. That
it's
is
timing.
making sense.
Like,
right?
I always- I-
Everything in
Rap, you want to
comedy
be in the
is
pocket
timing.
of the
Yeah.
beat.
Yes.
But you got to be in the pocket of the delivery.
Yes.
Because we could say the same joke.
Yeah.
But if I deliver it a certain way and you deliver it a different way,
Literally,
Yeah.
but
it may or may
timing in
not
the
hit the same joke.
timing in the sense of like waiting extra
pauses,
half second
100%.
to say something
Yep.
could make or break the entire joke.
Everything.
Like
Yeah,
that's,
it's
that's
everything.
it.
I've tried to do
And-
comedy because it's a natural progression from writing rhymes. Like when you used to
Yeah,
write battle rhymes.
weirdly enough, I agree.
Well, you used to write the punchline and then the lead up because you'd have the funny thing and then what would lead up to it, and so when you write comedy, you have the premise, which is the punchline, and then you lead up to it. So there's something to be said
Well, if
for
you have
that.
a passion for writing, I feel like
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
are
Absolutely.
essentially like you're going to be interested in both.
You're not an airhead.
But the
Like, it's just
mindset
something-
that it takes to rap and freestyle specifically, right, is the same thing that when you're writing comedy, because your mind is working on what is being said and what can I take from what's being said and spin it into a different way. And that is the same like with doing
Yeah.
improv as it is with freestyling.
It's a guy with a microphone and you're entertaining somebody.
Absolutely.
So
Hopefully.
it's
That's the goal of.
It's with comedy comes in threes, dude. I never liked sitcoms, right? Because sitcoms, the standard two camera sitcom, whatever, dude. It was always I looked at it like music. It was like this rhythmic pattern to the jokes, where you know when the jokes are coming. It's
yeah,
sit, set up, and that's where the
Formulaic.
time. It's very formulaic, and for people that are funny or have done comedy or even done like rapping, anything like creative, like for me, that rhythmic timing ruined it for me because I just knew. Like set up,
Well, that's
da-da-da.
vanilla.
Like, that was, yeah.
So that's the pop song. That's
Yeah.
the equivalent. The pop song is what.
Yeah, that's a good
sitcoms,
point, yeah.
Right? But that's what the
Whereas-
industry feeds. They want formulas.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you're going to be able to hear something that's funnier or sounds better if it's outside the box, but the masses aren't going to accept it because they can't figure it out.
Right. You might have a cult following in that sense, but like you're gonna need to have. Well, you know what it is. I also think that you have to have a style that you can repeat enough where people can actually get to know what you actually are.
Yeah.
Right.
You need a-
Like if you're a rapper and you're a a DJ and you're it's a good example for a DJ, right? Like I feel like there's plenty of DJs that are great open format DJs, but there's not a lot of very, very, very famous ones at this point that are like all over
AM
the
was
map.
still alive, right?
What's that?
If AM was still alive.
But again,
But that is it.
he was in a scene at the right time in the right place, and honestly, at a time where you didn't really need to be a major producer.
Okay.
Like now you have to be a major producer to be a major DJ at this point.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right. So like you have to come with a specific style genre that people can get behind, that you can sell, that you can have an audience that will, and you have to be fit into a time slot in a festival to be in a big enough place. You know what I mean? Where like if you're all over the map, it's really hard to be a DJ. Again, unless you're like Diplo, who can show up anywhere and fucking play whatever and no one cares.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to do that as a DJ.
A lot of it is luck. I mean, Steve, what is it? Fucking who's the guy that started Microsoft? Bill Gates. Bill Gates like grew up like down the street from one of the only coding computers in the country. Like some of it is just like an accident of birth, like where you are, where you come from. Like, you know, like look at the Charlie Sheen documentary. He grew up with like 5 other guys that were like heavily interested in acting and stuff. Like, anybody watch
and
that?
they were all sons
his
of
dad.
other actors.
Yes,
just to
in
reference
that
the full
area.
circle back. Their father was a big time actor. Him and his brother both became actors. They were friends with I'm not going to remember his name.
That's
Who's
the whole
also a big time actor now.
Yeah, the guy
That's
who was
the
like
whole
interviewing who's
Oh yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Went and he got him arrested too.
Yeah.
He did
Pablo
like a CIA
Escobar.
If you grow up
operation.
in the industry or an industry kid, you know, it's going to be that much easier for you to make it because you've been living it your whole life.
Yeah,
as a
you
kid.
know
you have
it.
the connections
You know
already.
it.
You already know the
Yeah.
agents. You already know the friggin'
Yeah.
producers. You already know the heads of the
You
friggin'
also don't
industry.
have to worry about the fame. You've already been associated.
Yeah,
to
you
the
were
fame
born
your
into it.
entire
You
I was
gotta
life.
worry
born
about
in the
living in the
dark.
shadow of, are you better
Yeah.
or worse?
I mean,
Do
look
people
at
consider
look
you
at
better?
Charlie Sheen, man.
Yeah, but again,
Like,
then all you have to do is change your name, and nobody fucking knows that you're even related to that person.
Nick
yet.
Cage.
Emilio Estevez.
His name was
Well,
Nicholas
I think
Coppola.
that's the exception to the rule, and that's amazing. You know that he did that because a lot of other people have made it because of their name.
Oh,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure, yeah. And
But
Robert,
they don't stick around unless they've got
Yeah.
something there.
Yeah, they have
You
to
know,
have
Scott
chops.
Kahn is not his dad, but he's obviously talented, right? Like
there's plenty
Yeah.
of guys that are talented and deserve to be famous just because their parents were famous. Like I agree with that. It's just how many guys that are so fucking good will never get that shot because they don't have it. And that's what sucks. Is
Yeah.
like there's so many talented guys out there. Great
where there's
rappers.
a will, there's a way.
Well, no, 100%. I think a lot of people give up too soon, and then there's a lot of people that.
Some people should give up and they don't. But
Yeah,
That's also true.
yeah.
That's also true. But like, there's also people that realize that you have to support yourself some way while you're also trying to make it.
was-
And I think so many people in this world are like, I can only do this in order to survive, and then I have to quit because I can't survive just doing this. It's like, dude, like there's plenty of people that have to have something else in their career before they can make it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to work non-fucking stop,
Yeah.
right? You may have to have a job and then you're working till 2 a.m. to make your fucking dream happen. But if you're not willing to put in those hours outside of making your living, you're never gonna fucking do shit anyway, and you're gonna be
Yeah.
stuck in the fucking 40-hour-a-week work week, and you're gonna hate your life. And if that's what you want, fine. If you're happy in that fucking world, great. But if not, you're gonna have to put in more hours than anybody fucking else in order to fucking make it.
Yeah. And you,
And some
you
people
have
don't
to have
wanna
that
work.
extra gear. You have to.
Yeah.
I didn't give myself enough credit, but yeah, dude, I was working like 60 hours a week writing like whenever I possibly could, like funded the whole thing, like went
Good.
down there. And then after I finished it, I'm like, yeah, like I never give myself credit. But I'm like, yeah, that takes a lot of fucking
It's pretty cool.
effort. Yeah.
It's like, who
it's
else has
cool.
done
Like
that?
nobody.
that
That's what I said. I was like, nobody. And the guys at the not to bring up PTC again, but
No,
like
no. I honestly,
were-
they're good guys.
Yeah,
Like,
they're great.
I do want to meet them, like, because I've seen them on fucking line for so long that like I do respect their.
They're
what they
great
do.
guys.
Yeah.
They
And
love
got a
you
good-
guys
They
too,
had a
whatever.
good thing going down.
Yeah, they texted me today. They were like, "Good luck on the whatever." Like they're so
No,
supportive. of
and
everything.
I mean, I don't even know them, but they seem very
Yeah,
supportive
they're
of us,
fucking
you know?
awesome, good dudes.
Yes,
But they
I
were the
appreciate
ones
that.
that were like, dude, like, because they're a little bit older than me or whatever. I'm like 33, and they were like, dude, like, you got to just go and do it. Like, you're never gonna regret doing it.
That
And
you
then I did it,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah. Even if it failed.
yeah, even
Whatever,
if it fails,
you did it.
And what happened
it.
was, it didn't blow up, but I didn't expect it. The thing was, everybody that I wanted to hear it and like it did. I had so many fucking people text me because it was I talked a lot of like serious stuff on it. I keep shit pretty close to the vest, but I've been to rehab like 4 or 5 times. Like I don't tell people shit. I just keep it, whatever. And I kind of laid it out, dude.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot of people reaching out, being like, dude, like, you know, good job. Like it meant a lot to me. So that's what I got out of it.
My question
Not to
is
be too serious about it.
You're
But
putting
I'm
on
like,
a ton of content, bro, but like I need more of your music content. You're gonna need more video.
Yeah.
Make a music video tonight.
Yeah, no, but I'll help you make a music video.
okay, done.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
I got you, buddy.
All right, done. We'll do it.
Because we
We'll
have
do the receding hairline song.
We'll do the receding hairline.
We'll
song.
have strippers. And
I
stuff.
got
That'll
a
be dope.
receding.
we'll make something happen.
Okay,
So
done.
that was my experience, like listening to your music. I was listening to this fire fucking song. I listened to it in order. So the one right before it,
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking dope. Damn,
It
dude.
was that was a
And then the
purpose.
next one,
You started with the
and then
banger.
the next one started.
Yeah, I wanted the
went in
whole
on
rap
receding
song.
hairline, so I was like, okay, all right, here we
Yeah,
are.
it was a song about having a
good.
seizure on the floor of a rehab facility,
Yeah.
going into me having a receding hairline, and then
Yeah.
like it was just a crazy. But that was all by design because I wanted to like keep people in, like, because if you don't like that, okay, well, here's something completely fucking
Yeah.
different.
That's the
And
thing.
here's a
I
song about.
purposely don't put
completely
albums
different.
on shuffle because I assume that the artist wants me to hear it
And now-
in a very
yeah.
specific
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
So
And now you're missing out on that. Like, look at like Dark Side of the Moon. Like a lot of people, they take fucking mushrooms or whatever, and
Yeah.
they listen to that front to back. And there's a reason you listen to it front to back.
Yeah.
Not saying I have done it. I have
I'm
done
saying
it.
it's literally
but-
exactly what I've done. Like
I've done it way too many times. Yeah.
The album formula has been replaced with the single and just like pumping out content and,
Yeah.
and not and everything is its own thing as opposed to putting together something that is a piece of work from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike Posner put out a record, I don't know exactly remember when, but he literally said at the beginning, if you don't have 45 minutes to listen to this whole thing right now, like don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I want you to listen to the whole thing from beginning to end because, there's one thing that, I think of a lot is that the best art comes from agony. And if you've been through some shit, it will either drive you to be creative about it or tell your story. And so making art from your anguish is something that is also relatable, right? Because everybody's going through something.
Oh, and
right.
yeah, constantly.
So as opposed to just like coming up with something because it's funny. I love the juxtaposition of, in doing something where people are always talking about how good they are rapping,
Yeah.
and talking about how bad you are, how you suck or whatever. Like I made a parody back in the day. I never recorded it, but Rick Ross is the boss, and I did the dork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was talking about my mismatched outfit, and my lineup isn't straight. You know what I mean? And just kind of like, because that's the exact opposite of what you usually hear.
Yeah.
I think you should do a song about I wanted to be born with a big dick, but I ended up getting big balls. And the problem about having big balls and a little dick, man, is there's many. Like nobody likes pissing on your balls. You know what I mean? Like nobody likes your balls dipping in the toilet water. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely something there that I think
100%,
you could run with. But that's like the type of shit that like. You're nobody on a rap album is going to want to say that shit, but if you do, it's like, well, immediately you're separating yourself from everything.
Yeah.
else, you know what I mean?
And the thing what I wanted to do was I wanted to make it so artistically undeniable. Like to the point where like I could be rapping about the dumbest. I have a whole verse about raping the gecko, but it's so well done that you can't say this is trash.
Yeah.
Like so you have to listen. Like I want people to be listening, be like, this is fucking crazy, but it's well done.
Yeah.
But if it's fucking crazy, they're going to keep listening. That's the point.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
I have a whole song about how sick my 9/11 was outside of the terrorist attacks. Like, so I have like it's a whole song
was
about
a
like
good
because I was in
day.
fourth grade.
sunny, dude.
Yeah, it was
that day?
yeah, that day was sick outside of the obviously the terrorist attacks. But I had a pretty sick. It was like I'm gonna do a pop punk song where it's like
we got out of
steel
class
beams
early,
of love would have
fucking,
never
like-
melted. Like met my girl on 9/11. It's like one of those like old like mid 2000s. Steel beams of love would have never melted. Something like that. I don't know. We're cooking on some shit.
That's a concept right there. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like it was a nice, sunny, warm, beautiful.
It was
It
a great
the most
day.
beautiful Tuesday.
It was a really
Yeah,
nice
it was a
day.
great
Like
day.
I was
never
locked
forget
in
it.
my
No,
classroom.
obviously-
I showed up to school late. Dude, the timing's so bad. I showed up right as the second tower So I remember going into school.
Literally, he's got the same story as everyone
I
else.
know.
We were in school and they sent us home. Like,
but if it
fuck you, dude. We know we were there.
Picture it.
If it was,
September 11th,
if it was
2001.
5 minutes later, I wouldn't have been stuck at school.
Yeah.
I
Right.
showed up. I'm signing in. No one gives a fuck that I'm like, what's up? I look at the TV and I'm looking at an airplane crash into a building. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
It's so funny, and so many people have that story where they're like, "Yeah, I missed the plane. I would have been." And your story is like, "Yeah, I was in PE, but like, I would have missed PA."
At the time, I was on the Jammin' 94.5 street team, and our name was the Jammin' Bomb Squad. And that immediately changed.
Yeah,
And the other thing that kind of gets forgotten is that, like, forgotten. I get forgetting all
Forgetting
the
how
time.
to say forgotten.
Jay-Z's album, The Blueprint, dropped on 9/11.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be at Jammin', and he ended
a
up
tough
doing
day
it
to
like
drop an
a day or
album,
two
bro.
later, and came in and did an interview, and then went to Strawberries on Memorial Drive or whatever. But yeah, 9/11. That's
Tough day.
it was a tough day. Shrek dropped like a month.
You know what I
after.
think about is like the
Shrek.
guys
The
who,
movie
who
Shrek
gave
dropped
Shrek
like
did
a
great.
the guys who gave the flying lessons, and the guy says, "I don't need to learn.
You
how
don't
to,
need-
I don't
yeah, you
even
don't
know
need to
how
land, yeah.
a plane." Like to me,
That's- yeah.
there's got to be some sort of red light going off on that,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
a warning sign.
Especially
maybe.
they had these guys on the
Wait,
list.
wait.
So a hot take was an
why is
inside
that?
job?
And
I
why
mean,
is that?
It was in fact the Jews.
You can't fly forever,
So
you
the
know,
guy,
right?
The guy just said,
The plane-
okay, that's fine. He doesn't want to learn
Oh,
how
you
to
just
fly.
want to take off? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like I
I
feel
mean-
like that guy could have.
Can you teach me how to
Potentially-
fly into a plane? The guy's like, yeah, all right, yeah, sure. He's gonna have to. It's like, dude,
The real issue is these planes fly themselves, guys.
Something
Yeah,
tells
no,
me
it doesn't even
that
matter.
the
Yeah.
flight school wasn't
fly
the only
themselves.
flight school they were at.
no.
Meaning, like,
What
pretty
ins-
meaning
inside
like-
info?
I'm saying
Inside info. Hit
I'm
us,
saying
Danny.
like they
Where we
needed to.
get-
I'm saying they needed to get a license at the flight school. But like, if they did need to learn how to fly a
didn't-
plane,
they didn't
the
train-
CIA could
I
have
don't
taught
think-
you, or somebody else could have
Yeah.
taught
I
you.
think-
I don't think they actually got it.
No. I mean, I'm the first person to say 9/11 was an inside job. That's like a hot take in this
Obviously,
fucking
no.
world, right? Yeah.
I don't know that they
I'm just
actually-
saying, like, potentially, like,
You know what I say? Anything is possible.
somebody
okay?
on
Like-
those planes know how to fly. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm not a conspiracy guy.
Or
The
was generated.
one thing that I like really, I just keep going back
am.
to. I can't get over. Remember the Vegas shooting?
Yeah, that one was a
Dude,
weird
remember
one.
that was in the
Worse
news
than
cycle for
9/11.
like a week.
Yeah.
It was. I remember like seeing
That's the largest mass shooting.
There was
though,
a candlelight.
in history.
Yeah,
Dude, the
everything
largest,
about that
dude,
is-
largest
and now the
mass
Charlie
shooting,
Kirk thing
largest
is
mass shooting in the history.
turning out
We're
weird.
pretty good at mass shootings. We do them a lot. We're
Yeah.
pretty good. That's
we're
the largest
number one in the world.
dude. And you're
But
telling me
you can't get to this fucking
guy,
room.
this guy's a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
This guy's. We have one fucking picture of this guy of him stumbling out of a bar that looked like it was taken on a Motorola Razor.
in the
He came
hotel
in with
room.
gun cases.
No, like,
Yeah.
like
With an
multiple.
arsenal.
Like he came in with multiple
Well,
bags.
so they're,
full
they're
of
also
fucking
lying
guns.
to us. No matter what you think, whatever. There's audio, video. There's video with audio attached to it of the gun being fired. What they say he was shooting, he was not shooting. It's physically impossible that it was shooting that fast.
Yeah.
he had machine guns. They're saying
Many.
They're
That
saying
he was just
didn't.
letting off.
he had
Like,
Call of Duty. He had
so
the whole
long.
fucking thing.
No, he had like real
shit, and
real
not just that,
machine guns,
but
not,
so,
not fucking an
But I've heard
AR
there was
that shoots
also
auto.
multiple windows that they were seeing shots coming from.
Yeah. But what got me was a week later,
what does
I was
that
seeing
mean?
the
I don't know.
candlelight
What does it
vigil, and
matter?
I'm like,
Wait,
oh
is
yeah,
it-
that
No,
happened.
nothing was ever
like a week ago. Like they was doing the candle. I'm like, oh yeah, they're already out of the news.
And then
But,
his
like,
brother was
there were
arrested
four
for
others,
child
like, you know,
pornography.
Yeah. To cover the
thing
other
about-
five. Yeah.
No, seriously, it's like
crazy.
you know, and it's the lottery you don't want to win in America.
No.
It really is. You know,
No.
No,
and
it's fucking insane, dude. Like on like that. It's a sad story, but it's happening so fucking much.
And I know,
I
it's
mean,
just-
and I know, like, obviously, you have experienced this recently.
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Can you? I mean, you don't have to, but if you do want to kind of tell us a little bit about your experience with this situation.
It's tough
'Cause
to
it's
tell
a-
a little bit about it,
I-
but
no, well, you know what I
will try.
mean.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
absolutely.
Like,
let's just first start from the most important part, that a man lost his life. Another guy got shot in the face and has a long road to recovery, and another woman got shot in the side, and nothing is funny about that. And but there were that guy came into that.
Where was this?
This was a Sky Meadow Country Club in in Nashua, New Hampshire, September 20th, and I was DJing a wedding there. And this guy was a former employee, and he walked in, and instead of turning right immediately into the ballroom where there was 100 people there, he went straight into the restaurant, which was straight ahead, and shot the restaurant manager in the face at close range. And then the man who passed away went to put himself, basically lunged at him and went to put himself between the shooter and his wife and daughter. His daughter was going to be married 6 weeks later. He was going to walk her down the aisle. So he was shot and killed. And there was a gentleman who luckily had been in the service. And as I remember, I think he had when I talked to him afterwards, he had a DEA golf tournament shirt on. And he picked up a chair and hit him over the head. And when he did that, there's a lot of crazy things about this story, but one of them is that the not only the gun came out of the guy's hand, but the clip came out of the gun. And I don't know guns like a lot of people, but I do know that that's really rare. So he had a 10 bullet clip, and I think he only got 5 shots off. And when obviously the gun and the clip are separated, he's neutralized as a shooter. Another person tried to
one round can still be in there, semi-automatic.
Yeah, so
it would reload and
sure. Yeah. But luckily somebody tried to tackle him at that point, and then he bottled that guy. But I guess it's a crazy story. But that guy came in with 10 bullet clips, so he definitely came in to kill 50 people if he could.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, he killed one person, and he drastically changed the lives of many people. Mm-hmm. But it could have been a whole hell of a lot worse. And again, lottery you don't want to win in America, but there's the sub-lottery within that is you are there and you survive it. It absolutely has brought me a ton of perspective on life and what's important and what's not important. I think that the thing that can be taken away from this, because I'm always looking for something good from something bad, because you can just be depressed about things when they, when they go wrong or whatnot, but you can also learn from them or turn it around. And I think that one thing that everybody has to do, until further notice, if you live in this country, you're just basically, waiting for this to happen to you. And I'm not saying anything political about that.
No, we do think about it a lot.
We lead the world in this, and something's got to change, and I don't know what it is. And regardless of that, until further notice, when you go out in public, you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to have your head on a swivel. You need to know what's behind you, what's in front of you, how you get out, and things like that. I generally think about those things when I go out because this, when they happen, I'm a consumer of news. Yeah. And from perspective of, you got to always know your source first and foremost, because that's, sometimes most of the time you're not getting news. Correct. Beyond that. But when that happened, we were literally in the midst of about to have a Greek Zorba dance, where you put bride and groom up on. I was DJing the wedding. I know this is a story that but I was DJing the wedding in the room adjacent to this, and chairs, breaking plates, throwing money. In a 6-hour wedding, there was 5 minutes where there wasn't music, and this was in that window of time. We just cut the cake and we were about to open the dance floor, and when I'm kind of waiting for it to begin, and I said, it's about to get really exciting here, but, about to hear some loud noises. And as soon as we heard that, we heard pop, 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 pop. And, the first thing that came to mind is, okay, I don't remember any balloons. So, there weren't balloons that we knew of there. And then the second thing that I had to realize later that I realized in the moment was that 2 balloons can pop at the same time, right? Yeah. And the sounds can overlap, but only 1 bullet can come out of a gun at one time, and none of those sounds overlapped. And at the time, the banquet manager from the venue was actually standing next to the door, which was adjacent to, which basically opens to the restaurant, and to the first table in front of him was the table where gentleman was shot and killed. And he just kind of cocked his head like, what was that? And when he went to open the door, I had 2 things in my mind: either everything is okay or it isn't. Yeah. And I was ready for it isn't, and yet the first thing that came to my mind when he said gun and run is, I'm so mad at myself. I had to do a Barry Sanders. I went left, I went right, I went left. Like, where am I going? Where am I going? And I'm like, damn, you always think about this, but this was not this was a beautiful day, a beautiful, wedding. Talk about 9/11 was a beautiful day. This was a beautiful day. So at first I was mad at myself for that. And then I said, okay, well, I'm going to go out into the lobby. And then I realized when I'm in the lobby at this particular place, you're only a sheet of glass between yourself and where what just happened, which certainly sounds like a shooting just happened. And so I doubled back to run into the back into the ballroom. I bumped into somebody. I said, I'm sorry. Somebody else said, is this a joke? I'm like, this is not a joke. And immediately from there, my thought is, let's go to the kitchen, everybody to the kitchen, because we're going to separate ourselves multiple walls, away from what just happened.
And there's got to be a back door too, right? I mean,
well, that's the thing. Like, there's always a back door from the kitchen to the dumpster.
Every kitchen
right?
has,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get people in the kitchen. And as I'm, doing that, I'm literally immediately saying, run, hide, fight. And that's something that, when we were kids in school, when we were coming up, we were taught, if you caught fire, stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Like, if you ever caught on fire, which doesn't happen very often.
those are the rules. Everybody knows that.
You're going to know what to do,
Yeah.
right? I'm not in school these days, but I don't think we put enough emphasis these days on run, hide, fight. Run till you can't run, hide until you can't hide, and then fight, because that is the way to survive.
Save yourself. Yeah.
And hopefully save others,
Yeah.
by getting that message across.
Sure.
So, I went into the kitchen where there were a lot of other guests either following me or kind of ahead of me. And when I got in there, I had another kind of realization that, number one, and I don't know why I thought of this, but like when RFK was assassinated, his assassin left through the kitchen, right? And so for a second, I didn't in the moment realize it, but I said, I don't know if this is the safest place. And the other thing was that we had only heard those 5 shots in rapid succession, and we hadn't heard anything since. So I said, all right, I'm going to go back out into the ballroom just to kind of see or take a look. And when I came around the corner, I'm literally seeing this guy coming across the dance floor.
Holy shit.
Walking,
Yeah.
and he's like 20 feet away from me. And at that moment, I only saw a figure. I couldn't tell what was going on. I knew his hands were up like this. He was not armed. And to me in the moment, he looked like an alien or a sci-fi character.
Did he have like a mask or something on?
Ultimately, he did, and I didn't know that until somebody told me later.
Okay.
He was dressed in all black. He was 6'3", tall, skinny.
Yeah.
But
What do you mean about what? He had like a shiesty on or something?
What's a shiesty?
Like one of those like
ski mask.
Yeah. Oh, so
Buzz Lightyear.
I don't even know, but I know that when I saw him, I just said, "This is the guy," because number one,
Like who would be walking around?
I
the
made
bar?
I made a lot
Looks
of
like the guy.
I made a lot of calculated assumptions in this moment, and generally they were right. Number one, single shooter. I thought that he was just trying to assassinate someone because we just heard these bullets and it was over. And then when I saw him, he was kind of just dazed and kind of stumbling. And my immediate thought was, what usually happens is they do what they're doing and they shoot themselves. And I thought he had shot himself in the head and he was just a dead man walking until the adrenaline died. But I knew that he wasn't in a posture of attack. He didn't look armed, but I didn't know what I was looking at for a moment. Like in that moment, I kind of really had like am I in a sci-fi movie kind of thing. So I immediately said, well, he's walking across the dance floor and I'm not going to dance with this guy. So I ran back in the kitchen. I started saying, he's coming this way. He's coming this way. For whatever reason, during this happening, my belief was that the bounds of this were the building. I didn't ponder running outside. I don't know why, but I just said, like, to me, I was escaping, but I felt like I had to be in the building. Mm-hmm. So I didn't go out the back door, but I was telling people he's coming this way. I ended up swinging around out another door of the kitchen to the other side of the ballroom. And when I did so, number one, I hear a shriek, like just a scream from the other room, and I'm like, well, somebody just saw whatever just happened in there. It was obvious that somebody just noticed what happened. Yeah. And I had a couple guys that were there with me, and I noticed, and they were hockey players, and so I had a moment where I said, we've got this guy flanked, because I knew that he had entered the kitchen. He was walking towards the doorway where I had been, and now I was here and he had gone that way. Mm-hmm. And so I looked at these guys, I said, let's go see if we can help, right? And when I opened the kitchen door, I'm immediately on the right presented with all of the kitchen knives. And I said to myself, well, this doesn't seem like it's, not for any particular reason. And so I said, look, grab a knife. And I tried to grab a knife, and it was the longest knife in this thing, and I'm pulling it out, and it just keeps coming. I'm like,
It's like a
this
fucking
thing is
bread
like, it was like a sickle, and I'm like, what is this doing, in a kitchen? But these guys, because I didn't know if this was a good idea or not, but these guys pulled knives, and I said, okay, let's go. And the very interesting thing that happened next was, as we went through the kitchen, all of the kitchen staff were Latino, and they were all working like nothing had happened. And for a moment, I was like, that's weird. Oh, no, it isn't. And then I just, went towards where the guests were, and they said he ran out the back door. He went out the back door. So I immediately dropped the knife because, number one,
you don't want to look like the guy.
I don't want to look like the guy, and I don't need it. I'll cut myself with a knife before I cut someone else, probably, right?
Yeah, right.
So I put
that
the
was
knife
like
down.
just in case protection, right?
But this is when the guests who had stayed in the back of the kitchen, and this guy had walked out through them, said that number one, he was bleeding from the head, and somebody said, "Are you okay?" And he says, "I'm the shooter." And then he said some other things which seemed politically driven, but were later found to literally be said to throw people off of what the point was. So I won't even get into that. But what the next thing that happened is somebody said something to him after he said he was the shooter, like I don't know what, but like confronting him in some verbal manner, and the guy basically said, "Fuck you, I'll kill you all." And then he walks out the back door, and there's a dumpster, and then there's these two swinging fence gates that have the lock on them, but in between you can tell there's enough room that he went on the golf course. So at that moment, felt safer, right? Because the guy wasn't armed and he had left the building. And as far as we knew, there was only one shooter, and we hadn't heard any more shots. At that point, I just started to tell, if you're on the phone with 911, he's 6'3", he's tall, he's, wearing black. People said mask. Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, and what I didn't realize, people said he had walked through flipping everybody off. When he had his hands up like this, I didn't recognize, but he just had his middle fingers up. Like I just saw a silhouette kind of thing. You know what I mean? And later okay, that's why he looked like a sci-fi character, because he's wearing a mask, and he had his hands up, but I didn't recognize it first until some people said he was literally walking through like that. So I came back out, and then there was absolutely staff members and other people who were thoroughly distraught and completely in shock. And one of them, I was trying to help her, and I just knew that there was nothing in that moment I was going to do or say to her that was going to make it any better. And she was around other coworkers, and I said, okay, she's safe with them. And I went back out into the lobby, and I was kind of asking people, like, do we know if we still have an active shooter here? And that's when I saw this gentleman standing over a shell casing in the lobby. And so I went up to him, and that's the gentleman who had hit him over the head with a chair, and he kind of explained to me what happened. And I said, just his posture and the way he was, I just said, were you in the service? He said, yeah. I said, I could tell. And I said, look, I know what you're doing here. You're marking the shell casing, but you can be doing something else more important. And there was like a couch with a table and some ornaments on it. I just basically started taking these ornaments off and putting them around the shell casing, because he doesn't need to stand there. We definitely want that to be preserved. Yeah. I knew what he was doing. And he thanked me. And that's when, people had gone into the bridal suite, and both guests of the restaurant and of the wedding. And that's when I first went in and saw some of the casualties, definitely, saw that there was carnage beyond just the shooting, but, a guy had gotten bottled when he went to tackle him. Another gentleman had probably cut his hand on some glass in the craziness that ensued. And then, once the police started coming in with the long guns and everything, I was saying, he went out that way. Here's what he looks like. Just trying to get the good information to the right people. Yep. And then when we finally started to see EMS, I knew that where the people are, what they needed to be triaged. I said, you got a head wound in here, you got a gunshot wound in here, and that they could have got that information from other people, and they probably did. But I was just trying to get good information. I had been an MC my whole life, and I had been MCing and DJing a wedding. I had been telling people what to do all day. It was just very
slide
easy
to the
be
right,
the guy to tell
slide to the left.
No, but literally, it's true though.
Well played.
Yeah,
well played.
that was really good.
Yeah. So basically, they kept us in there because this guy was still at large. And then when they finally had enough assets, there, they said, they kind of told everybody that we're going to have you all under guard, walk out and walk down the driveway of the place and to this fire department, firehouse that was a quarter mile from the venue. And at that point, everybody's like, oh, can I go get my keys? And I'm like, oh yeah, I got all my DJ gear set up in there. It's all on, and it's very, counterintuitive to leave a gig not only without your gear but with everything on.
Yeah.
And I'm just to myself, I'm not even going to ask that question because I know the answer is
Yeah.
you're not going back
you're
in
not
there.
going
back,
back.
yeah.
And I'm realizing my keys to my car are on the DJ table. My assistant who's with me, his keys are in
Well,
my
you
car.
can't leave at all if they don't have
Yeah.
that.
Well, we couldn't leave until we were allowed to,
Yeah.
and we weren't allowed back in there because it was an active crime scene. We
Yeah.
were able to go back in 2 days later. And
So you had to Uber out of there or something? Like,
So my assistant, you know him well, David Barros.
Oh, yeah.
His sister came and picked us up ultimately, and it was several hours later because when we finally got down to this firehouse, we had to stay sheltered in place because when the guy was apprehended, he said that there was a second shooter, which there wasn't, and he was doing that to throw people off, which to me makes no sense because you've already been
Yeah,
caught.
I don't know. You already been caught.
But because of that, they had the dogs out. They didn't want to mess with the scent. Finally, they ended up sending us over to the Sheridan Tara, which was the reunification center, because and I don't want to get too much into my couple because, this is something that they should never have had happen on their wedding day. And they went through hell. But they had been separated, at that, and they were finally, reunified there and whatnot. But, yeah, man, it just, and I could tell you more about it. It's a long story and there's a lot to it. But if I can bring anything full circle from it, is just that I started at my subsequent wedding. I had 4 weddings in 8 days, starting 2 weeks later. And I've gone to all my couples and I go to the venue beforehand and I say at the top of dinner before I, do the introductions, what I'm going to say is something basically like, take a moment just to make yourself aware of your surroundings, take a look around the room, know the ins and outs of the room so that in the case of an emergency, you already have an idea of where to go.
Yeah.
Which nobody is thinking about after cocktail
Completely
hour.
acceptable. It doesn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's giving me
It doesn't
pushback
even
on that.
relate to what occurred.
no, but
It's
that's just good general
it's just
information for
smart.
any large fucking.
Well, like
smart.
I've done 180
What if there's
weddings
a
and I've
fire?
never said that before,
Yeah,
and
right.
now I'm
No,
never,
and you
now I'm
wouldn't-
never not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's really a big part of it. Is just when it happens, the first thing you're going to think of is really like
What if there's a fire? What if there's any reason to fucking
Everybody's
Absolutely.
shit-faced.
right?
Like,
Absolutely.
Like it's just always good to realize that you need to have your safety and always be aware of your surroundings. At all
But a
times.
fire you can run away from for the most part.
Of course.
No, but like
There's emergency situations that are different,
right.
of course.
And,
But I'm
and-
just saying.
and I'm thinking of it. I'm saying in general for emergency's sake and not singling anything out.
yeah,
but,
I mean,
but
because you don't want to be like, hey, if there's a shooter that comes to this party.
It was I did an event and here's what happened. No,
Yeah,
like,
right.
But I think that needs to be said more because again, we're literally just anytime you go out in public, it's a matter of time. Is it or is it not going to happen in your life? Are you going to get hit by lightning? Are you going to win the lottery? Are you going to be there for an active shooter? And if you are you going to walk away from it? And are you going to walk away from it a different person, the same person? I was very lucky because.
And shout out to the guy that stepped up.
Absolutely.
I
And
mean,
more than one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he saved a lot of lives, and probably mine. And I'll say that because this guy, when he left, after he met that resistance, he walked out of the restaurant and then took an immediate left and opened the double doors, which my back were to, and literally I was standing there with my back to those doors for the whole night. And had he still been
He had
armed,
that gun?
I would have been the first. He would have either shot me in the face or the back of the head had I had time to turn or not. He had to go around my DJ table to walk across that dance floor. It wasn't my time, right? But at the same time, it definitely gives you a lot of perspective and things that are important, things that aren't important. I talk a lot about first world problems. You go to Dunks and they don't get your coffee right. That sucks, right? But that's a first world problem. You go to Market Basket and they don't have the veggie cream cheese this week. Okay, well, that's a first world problem.
Yep.
This is a first world problem, but the point is that there are things that matter and things that don't matter, right? We're very lucky in this country that we're not under siege like some other people are
100%.
around this world.
Yeah.
We are, but it's not in
A different way.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, we back.
Welcome back.
Oh, we back.
Quick piss break.
So I heard you were a criminal. What happened?
I was a criminal. No, I was on Mass Most Wanted.
What does that even mean?
Well, I can tell you this. All right. So basically, we'll get into. I'll tell this quick or whatever. So, when I was a sophomore in high school, right? Me and my buddies were at the Hanover Mall down in Hanover, Massachusetts.
Bring it in a little bit.
Yeah.
You mean the
Oh,
Hanover
down-
Mall's in Hanover?
The Hanover Mall is in Hanover. Well, it's actually no longer in the Hanover Mall. Well, the Hanover Mall no longer exists. But back then or whatever, we were there. Me and a couple of my buddies. One of my buddies threw a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi onto the roof of the Hanover Mall, right? So a mall cop comes over and they go, "You're banned from the mall. You can't come back," right? So about 2 weeks later, I go back to the Hanover Mall. We're going there. We're going to see a movie or whatever. And I walking through the mall and I see the mall cop that kicked us out of the Hanover Mall. And we made eye contact, and I'm like 14 at the time or whatever. So I'm like, oh, they know we're here. So I call up my buddy. I'm like, they know we're at the mall. And he's like, no, they know you're here. Click, hangs up the phone. So I'm like, fuck. I turn back around, right? There's a mall cop, and then there's 2 Hanover police officers tailing me. So I'm like, fuck, I got to get out of here, dude. So I get to a JCPenney, just fucking bursted through JCPenney. Probably the fastest anybody's ever ran through a JCPenney. And I get across Route 53, which is like a 6-lane highway, dude. I like put up a stiff arm, basically block traffic. And I get to the McDonald's, right? And I'm at the McDonald's, like I'm home free, right? 3 fucking cruisers pull up. I'm like, shit. So they come in, they cuff my legs, cuff my hands, throw me in the back of the cruiser, like, get back in there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm in the back of the cruiser for about like 20 minutes, right? And they're talking. They finally bring me out, and they start asking me all these questions, and like these vague, like ambiguous questions, and they started to get ridiculous. So I like laughed. Like, I have a lot of respect for law enforcement, but it was the point. I'm like, I started laughing. I'm like, you think armed robbery's funny? I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, like, you think armed robbery's fine? I'm like, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. They're like, get the fuck back in there. So they put me back in the cop car. I'm in there for another 20 minutes. Keep in mind, I'm cuffed legs, cuffed hands, right? They finally pull me out, and they're like, we're going to let you go. I'm like, what? I'm like, why? What
Why
did you guys
just do that?
Yeah, I was like, what do you guys think I did? Like, well, you look like somebody on Mass Most Wanted. So I'm like, well, that's not me. They're like, why'd you run? I was like, well, I'm banned from the mall. They're like, dude, get the fuck out of here. So the next morning, dude, this is
3
like
cruises for a 2-liter, right?
yeah, it was crazy. I was like, what the hell? So the next morning,
Banned from the
I
mall.
snuck
Yeah.
candy into the movie
Yeah, I'm
theater. They
four-
said I can't come back.
And not sun cruisers either, right? We like
it was crazy, dude. So it's like 2007, right? And I wake up the next morning, right? And I go downstairs to our like Dell desktop computer, and I'm like, I want to see this guy that looks like me on Mass Most Wanted. So I go to massmostwanted.com, and I'm telling you, the feature criminal, like the guy on the banner, is a picture of me walking out of a Tedeschi's, and next to it is like stolen credit cards, like hot
It's an
wire.
actual picture of you.
It's me. It's a picture of me on the Mass Most Wanted website.
So they put the wrong photo
They
up?
put me on. I'll get to it, dude. So I'm going nuts because
So you thought you just looked like somebody.
that's
was on
why I
Mass
was like,
Most
who's this fucking autistic 5'10" fucking half Italian guy?
That looks like
yeah.
this 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it is a picture of me, so I'm going nuts, dude. It's like 2007. I'm like, I'm on the internet. This is sick. So I'm calling up my buddies. I'm like, dude, you got to check this out. I posted it on Facebook, and my dad's like hearing this upstairs. He comes down. He's like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, Dad, I'm on the internet. He's like, and him being the adult in the room was like, this is fucking nut. This is bullshit, dude. So we go down to the police station, and the first thing the guy sees me, goes, that's him. I go, no, I know, but it's not me. So they pull us into a different room. We're sitting there for a little while, and my dad's fucking like, this is bullshit, dude. So the guy comes out. So basically what happened, right? The guy that did all of that stuff did it the same day that I was at the Tedeschi's, and the description that the woman gave was that he was wearing a Florida Marlins hat. Now, I liked Dontrell Willis at the time, so I happened to be wearing a Florida Marlins hat, and I walked into that Tedeschi's like 2 hours after he did it. Yeah. So when they were going through the tapes or whatever, they were like, well, that has to be the only asshole wearing a fucking Florida Marlins hat.
Wow. Yeah, right.
So they put me on
how
the
many
side.
Massachusetts guys are a D-Train fan?
Do you
Like,
also actually look like the guy or no?
No, I just had the Florida
It was
Marlins.
just the hat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I actually no. You know what? I don't even
like?
know what that guy
He
looked
had
like.
a hat on and had an F on it. You know,
I never saw the picture of the actual guy. I don't even know if they found him. I might have been the reason he was never found because I was up on the site for fucking like a month. Yeah, I was just walking around as a
that
fugitive.
is fucking wild. And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like a kid at that point, dude.
I was a kid. Yeah,
Like,
I got like a Twix bar and walked out. And it was,
you went viral before you even tried.
I know, dude. I thought I was the man. I was
Sign
like,
of
dude,
things
I'm
to come, though.
My dad was like, "This isn't cool, by the way. Like, this is like a serious."
No, it is cool.
Dad was
Absolutely.
wrong.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
now I'm like
Hindsight,
30. I'm like,
best
no, that was
story.
pretty cool. That was pretty funny.
yeah, dude. I mean,
Truth came out.
And it wasn't just the website; it was like the featured fucking, like
You
the
were
banner.
you were Mass
like
Most
that
Wanted.
was I was Mass Most Wanted. I
Dude,
was
like
the guy.
that, I mean that's what some guys in movies beg to be. You know?
I know. I was basically the
That's funny.
fugitive for a little bit. I didn't even know it.
Dude, I mean that's a good claim to fame.
yeah, it's a good one.
I like it. I mean, some people get 15 minutes in the sun in the spotlight, for doing something crazy, but you didn't even do it.
Well, it didn't help that I got arrested like a couple weeks prior at like a house party. Dude, I got arrested.
who didn't get arrested at a
I
house
got arrested for underage drinking. I was dead
You didn't?
sober.
I got arrested for underage possession of alcohol and transporting in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Live free or die sober.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the age of 20. But no, I never got arrested at a house party.
I just mean like you got arrested for
I
alcohol or
was.
getting drunk early. And
I got arrested.
Yeah.
everybody got arrested.
The
at a
cops
party.
came
Yeah,
in
everybody.
and they're like, they were just going up to everyone. How old are you? How old are you? And they came up to me.
You
They go,
lied.
they go, no. They came up. They said, how old are you? I go, old enough to party.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Immediately,
Super bad.
the guy just grabs me, fucking turns me around, and puts me in
Dude,
cuffs.
when we got arrested, we got thrown in the back of the cruise, and my buddy was talking shit because he was the drunkest one there. I hadn't drank anything, but somebody had given me a dip. It was my first time ever doing cope wintergreen or whatever. I
And you
swallowed
never
it.
let go. You're
so the
still-
cops came in the back, and I swallowed it. So I'm puking in the sink, and they think I'm fucked up. So we got the two heroes there. So they throw us in the back of the cruiser, dude. I'll never forget this. I don't want to fucking hear a word out of both of you. Slams the door, and my buddy just turns to me. We're both cuffed, and he goes, "Dude, you got any Visine?" I go, "Dude, we're fucking cuffed. It doesn't matter if you have
put it
fucking
in.
Visine."
Put it in.
It was crazy, dude.
But that's an example of like, in our lifetime, the 180 that has happened with like marijuana as an example in Massachusetts,
I
right?
know,
Like
huh?
it used to be you had a little bit and you weren't going to college, you might go to jail.
Yeah.
Now you can write it off on your taxes if you got your medical card like I do. So I think it's
You can
funny.
write off your weed.
Well, it's like a prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on your federal taxes, obviously, but
Oh, right. But
So I get tested through work. So I have never smoked weed in the era where you could buy it at a store. I remember like you had to sit behind a Papagino's for 45 minutes and wait for a Chrysler.
Yeah, dude,
wait for a
your
Chrysler
neighborhood
300 to
dry
pull
and
up
you
and tell
can't
you you're
get
getting a
any
good
weed.
deal.
you had to buy a halfie of the Lawtown Brown Clown.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you would break that half an ounce down with the sticks, the seeds, the,
sticks, the
stems,
seeds,
right?
the
You
stems.
get enough to roll one fat Philly.
I
right?
think I
And then
got
sell it on.
commercial
and then you would be
once in my life.
dull for
Game
a while
grapes,
because
game
it was,
greens.
It was all wet up with whatever made it heavier.
Dude,
But now
Commercial back
Dude,
in the
back
day,
in
dude.
it was so bad back in the day, dude. Like you could
You literally had to break it apart like
Pull it
it was
Seeds.
called brickweed, Bibs, because it was a brick.
It was so bad.
So
And it's,
bad.
the thing is that it still worked for us. Like now, dude, honestly, I go to the dispensary
watching
now.
the seeds pop
I'm an
and
avid
shit.
weed smoker myself.
I resemble that remark.
The weed gets too good.
Oh no,
Yeah.
absolutely. People do
It's too
dabs,
good.
dude. And
Yeah,
it's like that
no,
would
it's
ruin
too
my
good.
week.
No.
Dude,
No.
I
You
did
ever
a dab.
dabble,
I
dude?
did a
No,
dab.
it won't
I
for
did
me.
dabs like 1 or 2 times. And I mean, first of all, the
I did it
idea that you
once,
pull out the
and it was
blowtorch and you
horrible.
have to fucking do all that.
Any
extra-
butane involved, that's
It's-
closer to crackhead
it's
for me.
gross for me, and I don't like it. So
super high, but
I
it's
tried it just to
also
try
not
it.
like a real high. It's not.
it's just too
It's not the
much.
same
Well,
as.
you had to get creative to get that high back in the day. You had to get like one of those grab bongs or something.
Yeah, the gravity bogs are great. So
You
like,
get the 3-liter Jolly treat back.
You
in
were
the
just
day
trying to
because-
get it flushed to your head as
because
fast
you
as
would be able to
get
get
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
and you were. It was a science
Jolly
project after school. Like I wish we
Yeah.
could have got credit for it.
You
but
guys ever smoke with a tin foil in the Poland
Of
spring
course
bar?
I did.
Yeah.
all day.
Of course I did.
How about
We're all gonna get Alzheimer's.
Have you
from
ever
it.
done a gravity bong in the tub with a Poland spring? Like
Yes.
So
Yes.
we did
yeah.
a trash barrel and a Poland spring. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
but-
and they say
Well, you'd
potheads
fill it up
don't-
and then
don't
just-
get shit
yeah.
done.
They're innovative
right?
as shit, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, I
too much now,
go
though.
into the no, but I go into the to the dispensary today specifically, and I go, "Give me your weakest shit."
Yeah.
And they have
The weakest.
No, seriously. I
And
go.
it's
I
super
go-
cheap.
I go.
It's
I go.
cheaper
I go,
now than it used to
it's
be.
awesome, dude. I go. Can I get an eighth of some of the weakest shit you got? They go. Oh, I got a 15% here. I'm like, wonderful. They go $18 for an eighth.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
A buddy of
crazy.
mine
Pay
was
about-
just
yeah.
he just showed me a bag that was $25 an eighth, and I'm looking at him like, dude, I would have spent
Dude, it was 40, 60.
$40.
Pay like $3 or $4
$45.
for half gram
anywhere
pre-rolls. $3 or
$45 to
$4.
$50.
It was like 10 years
You know,
ago.
that's
too. It's not like
less than I
And
paid
he's
in
like, this is
1996.
For
$25.
grams,
Yeah.
pre-rolls.
100%.
Love it.
You thought it would have
not
been the
5%
other.
like it was back then. You know,
You're
like-
right. That's what I'm saying. So the shit's great. So
It's too good.
It's
And you
no,
got
so-
vapes. You can go to a movie theater and fucking hit it in the movie theater. Like, it's like crazy.
But we come from a time where we're like, we would smoke blunts.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like, I
Back when it wasn't overdoing it.
No, right.
Yeah,
You don't
no.
need to smoke
I
a blunt.
can't
Like,
even
No.
imagine
a blunt would be a week for me.
Yeah, the
these
new
days.
For real,
weed
dude. I take
now,
a
I
couple
can't
hits off
imagine
good
smoking
weed,
a
and I'm
blunt.
done. But
Yeah.
but buying the 15% weed, I'm able to smoke. Like if I have a buddy. If I have a buddy and I can smoke a joint with them, and it's not like
Yeah.
overkill,
Right.
where it's retarded,
and
to
you know
do,
it's clean.
And
Like
good.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's the one good thing about it is it's tested
That's
nowadays.
the thing with
and
like
things
coke
that,
and
but-
stuff now. Like, dude, I'm glad I got out before. Like now, you got everything. You don't even know what you're
Fentanyl.
fucking.
There's
You have
fentanyl in
no
it.
idea what you
No,
put in your
it
body.
is
dude.
scary.
Fentanyl didn't even exist back
Right.
then.
So
It's
I mean,
fucking scary.
You don't even want to do drugs. You can't even trust your drug dealer anymore.
Dude, it's bad. Yeah, I know. It's bad not to be a drug dealer, but now you're chopping it up with stuff like, dude, if you know what's crazy? Like, if you got like like people that are doing heroin, like if they find out somebody overdosed, like the heroin users, they'll go to that dealer.
Yeah.
That's how fucked up addiction
I
is.
know.
It's like you hear that and you go, what?
Yeah.
So,
Luckily, I
usually don't call him back.
Any of the drugs that I was any of the drugs that I ever liked or still do are just always been like the more like designer drugs. You know what I mean? Or like
Molly,
or
like
that, or like or just mushrooms,
Molly's
or like
been notorious.
mushrooms or acid and stuff like that. Where like it was a little bit harder to.
Molly was
dose me with
notoriously
something fucking that wasn't
cut with
it's
acid.
safe. It comes from the ground.
Well,
I've
no,
always-
acid definitely
Yeah,
doesn't come from the ground, but
no.
like
No, not acid, but
like what I'm
yeah.
saying is like when I did those
It's not
things,
something
like
you would
I'm
mix
not
other
probably going to
things
get
in.
fentanyl in my acid.
now-
Yeah, there's no incentive to the drug dealer to be mixing.
no.
Like,
Just like marijuana has come 180 degrees, it's getting to that point with psilocybin and mushrooms where
well, it was just on the bill.
yeah, you can
Well, they're
microdose those
they're
things. for
producing
people
it
to
at
get
a
that
ketamine
level.
online now.
Yeah.
And I've got stock in a
Ketamine,
company
yeah.
called Mind Med. Okay, and
Mind Bloom?
Mind Med, MNMD.
Oh, mine blooms that ketamine. Sorry.
yeah, no, yeah, but this is
He's stuck on
psilocybin,
ketamine.
and it's like the first inning of this particular thing because it's like pot was before where it's not yet fully legal, and so once you get the first state, then there's 2, 5, 10,
Yep.
but you get a long way to go. But with sports betting, weed, and this stuff, they're still in like the early stages.
Yeah,
but,
the
like,
boys
we're
are
knocking down a
partying.
state or two every year.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
literally what I would have gone to jail for fucking years ago.
I know, yeah. There's a lot of guys still in jail for that type of shit. It's
No, I know,
crazy.
but that's the craziest part.
That's crazy.
yeah. If you're still in jail for weed, what the fuck?
It's nuts, dude.
That's cool. Well, it's wild.
I wrote a whole book on LSD and psilocybin research by Michael Pollan, same guy that wrote Omnivore's Dilemma. But dude, like you realize a lot of this shit was just made illegal for no fucking reason.
No,
other
there was
than,
a
like,
reason.
Political gain.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, it
when
was.
the DEA was first like constructed or whatever was like in
Reagan?
the early 30s,
Yeah.
and the guy who was in charge of the DEA
Yes,
needed
yes.
a scapegoat in order to get a good budget. And so what he initially did was he made weed this drug,
devil's
and that's why
lettuce.
it's on the schedule of these
Yeah.
other actually dangerous drugs. And
was
I
making
believe,
money
if
off
I'm not
cotton.
mistaken, they helped pay for the movie Reefer Madness. Where they smoked
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Yeah.
like
but a
this.
lot of
Turns you
that money
gay,
came
yeah.
from Big Cotton, and you can call it Big Cotton.
Interesting.
Big Cotton because it was hemp.
Hemp was
Dude, it was Big Cotton
interesting. Yeah,
paid
okay.
fucking the DEA to shut down.
Yeah.
Dude, no one is going crazy. Fucking
Hoover was like the guy that was pretty much the most corrupt dude in the world.
J. Edgar specifically.
Yes.
Right.
And the guy
Not, not Herbert.
No.
The guy that was in charge of,
the
like-
FBI that was yeah.
the guy with jurisdiction over it was working like he had his pockets with the mafia. So when they made it illegal, it was easier for the mafia to control the flow of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
and then
Well, same with alcohol. Same with
anything.
anything. I mean,
Dude, it was easier to get weed when I was in high school than it was alcohol. It just was.
agreed.
You know, it was just
100%,
easier.
yeah.
Oh, weed was way easier to get
Yeah.
a hold of course, but
Yeah.
it was because it was completely underground.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, to get, you needed to
it
cool
was
older brother
underground,
like
but it
I
was
had.
everywhere.
Yeah, it was everywhere. You could get it from
wasn't
anywhere.
when you have alcohol and it's completely not restricted. What's the word I want to use?
It's just
Illegal?
Not no alcohol. It was completely
Oh,
like covered by the government.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
regulated.
Who-
Regulated.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Who has it? Who
Orangey.
doesn't have it?
right. And then you
Yeah.
had
Ain't nobody spending the
regulators.
money to go make
No, no.
fucking whiskey in their bathtub.
Yeah.
you know. So
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'll tell you though, in my lifetime, there's two things that I definitely enjoy. They are betting on some sports
yeah.
and smoking some weed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll take a pandemic right in the middle of my life to be able to have the ability
Yeah.
to bet on sports.
I had a good pandemic. I know a lot of people didn't. I had a very good
Yeah.
legally
pandemic.
Had a great 9/11.
and to be able to, when I first
great 9/11.
when I first got my medical card, I was smoking in my car in an alley in Lawrence, and these cops rolled up and they're like, "Who's got the weed?" Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "It's me," and I've got my medical card, and they're like, "Oh, well, let me see that." And like they were like interested in it. How'd you get this? And they were apologetic, And I was like, "Ooh, I like this card." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been like 10 years now since I've had it, but I'm happy. Like, if there's a day that ends in Y, I'm probably having some beverages, and I'm probably putting one in the air, and I don't know.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers.
it's
Fuck
cheers.
yeah.
You're living a good life, and you're perfectly fine.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
I forget.
No, but what we are talking about is my man Joey Boats. I hear you got a fucking
It's time?
freestyle for us.
Hopefully I can get it in one take.
I got you.
We'll try it.
Hopefully.
We're gonna see Joey Boat's exclusive.
Yeah.
Playing. All right, it's got like 20 seconds to get into it. Yeah. Well, it's basically 2 verses I'm putting together. It's inside baseball, so we'll get it going. Yeah. 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 I drive down to the Cumberland Farms, pick up a couple tins, and I sit in the car, put a Zin in my upper lip and head to one of them bars where a pitcher of bug comes with a bucket of darts. Talk sharp to retired sinners. No surprise that a slow demise is the sole prize for the highest bidders. Don't know why, but I envy the scent of loss. Smells like dry blood when you bite on a bed of gauze. Smells like every chick on the brink of a menopause, drinking her cause, thinking that his shit'd be better off. She never went to court with intent to get a divorce, but of course, every line of regret is said in remorse. So you're listening to the prophecy of a loner, where waitresses whisper apologies in the corner, and vagabonds drift when they ought to be getting sober, and every empty seat still property of the owner, I swear. When I whip in a spot of a liquor store, pour sweating while I sit in the lot next to a couple college kids intent on flipping some pot, while the rest of the lot sicker than a driplet of snot. 9 degrees in my knees shaking, leaves scraping the concrete while the trees waving. 9 o'clock on the dot, breathe a sigh, my relief sets in. The sign flips, now it's time to let the rejects in. The bell tolls, chiming as I walk in the door. Pavlovian, I'm roaming as they mopping the floor. It's depressing when I pass my reflection in the glass, and in retrospect I'm glad that perspective is in the past. If it wasn't, still be friggin' lying in my bed, watching Moneyball, trying not to cry up at the end. It's impossible to not be romantic about the past. When you're living in the present, you're never given the past. I'm out. Fuck. Joey Boats, nicotine and pink razors. BJ's Wholesale Club. You can get it at Ames, Target, Spotify. Anyway, yeah. Got it. I needed you on that one. That you helped.
Honestly,
I got another one. I could do.
worst freestyle.
I'm a menace, whiter teeth than the dentist, hair thin as Trump's. I ought to fetch an apprentice. Seeing is believing. My hairline is receding, so I might just book a flight into Turkey and buy the treatment, get a spray tan, take a flyer on free veneers, then reappear looking like Steven Tyler if he was queer. Get some Botox, new BBL as well while I blow cocks on OnlyFans so I can acquire a pair of low tops. Whoa, stop. I'll admit that got a bit weird. I'm in the worst wing of the mall like I'm shopping at Sears. Underwhelmed like I'm staring at my cock in the mirror. It's best to not interfere. It's best to not interfere with all these people that are constantly vocal, often talking on social. Shutting up is such a shocking proposal. Now I'm flying to desert islands with Epstein, vibing the next thing that I know this guy's quietly texting a 16-year-old about some private investing. Then he goes, I got an offer you might find interesting. I'm like, whoa, I gotta fly back into the city to see an ex. And the next I'm getting dinner with Diddy, we're getting oysters. That's good.
Yeah. So bottom line is keep at it, because I don't blow smoke up people's ass. I judge the shit out of people rapping. You definitely can write.
Yeah.
And whether you look at yourself as a rapper or not, you can rap, and you have the personality. And you know, it's funny. He was saying he's being a whore on these podcasts. No, you're pimp. You're a pimp. You're pimping the podcast. Okay, because you just going on one. You come with material.
Yeah.
Right. None of it's weak.
Yeah.
Right. And it's all flowing on. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Because
I appreciate it.
I've seen people.
Thank you.
Coming up. Absolutely. I've seen people coming up, and I've missed their talent. And you're somebody who I think that if you just keep doing what you're doing, you're on the right trajectory.
Yeah. Steady.
Yeah.
Steady. I appreciate it. Thank you.
100%. And like, so like you said, I think that breath control is massive. But again,
it's so
also
difficult.
like it's one of those things where like you're on a podcast. We're not in a booth getting
100%.
takes, right?
No, I'm
so
not,
like
no judgment statement.
No.
Right.
What I'm saying is like you absolutely have skills, and that last verse is hilarious.
But you have what
and
most
also
people want, which is the ability to write.
It's gonna sound so like in the beat that he chose for the rhymes. When you guys hear,
we couldn't hear it.
Yeah, you can't hear the beat.
That is weird
here.
that I was just like, yeah.
So like for us, it's an acapella freestyle, but like I know the beat that he played. So
You
it's
had
gonna-
me at MF
It's
Doom.
like an MF
It's gonna
Doom.
sound
You had me at
dope.
MF
Boom
Doom.
bap. You mentioned
Yeah,
it.
so it's a doom beat and it's dope, and Joey Badass, and it's a dope fucking song. So I think it's gonna come out great for
Oh, I
sure.
appreciate it.
yo, thank you guys so fucking much.
I had fun tonight, John.
I had fun
Thanks for
tonight.
having us.
Honestly, you guys are always welcome here.
Dude, that was a blast. Thanks for having me.
This is I say it to a lot of people, but I do genuinely mean it to you guys for
Point
sure.
of the podcast
Is that
Daniel.
like we come here, and once you're on the show, like you're a friend of
You're
the
a friend
show.
of the show. That's what I was gonna
You're
say.
a friend of the show, and like
Yeah.
we shoot this on Wednesdays, and you guys are always welcome here on Wednesdays. Like we're just a community. We want to grow this, and you guys are always fucking welcome.
Well, keep doing what you're doing.
If
Yeah,
we
we
have
appreciate
other
you,
shit going on, whatever, and you're like, I have something to say, I want to come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. You're here,
Whenever,
man.
just tell us. We could
Yeah.
have another guest.
And-
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
Just
Okay.
come on. Might be a rotational thing. But
Yeah, so that's the thing.
whatever.
Is like there's times that you come here and there's fucking 5-6 people here, and we're rotating in and out.
but
and
you
having
still
a great
get to
time.
chill and have fun. And
You
do
guys
our
should
thing.
add a sexual component to the pod. Like,
Yeah,
bring out
no.
a
We're
Sybian,
probably all going to start an OnlyFans.
Can we just bring in some women if we're gonna do that?
Well, I was thinking, I'll come on. I'll sit on a Sybian next. I'll rap on a Sybian. I'll be the first time. It was Howard Stern used to do that in like the 90s where he just bring chicks out. Like, tell me about your
He
life.
really did though. That's what I remember
And I
in my
would've
youth
stayed
of
longer.
watching.
Chicks
Howard
riding the speaker
Stern.
with the movie,
Howard
right?
Stern.
Like,
I don't.
turn
we
the
can just
bass
throw
up.
pieces of bologna at you. Or
Yeah, I'll do something. Hey, listen, I'm doing anything.
Imagine that was on TV, like late 90s,
Yeah, it's
early
crazy.
2000s. They just have a porn star in lingerie sitting,
And now,
sitting on it. Like,
and now Stern tries to present himself as this like beacon of moral
political
superiority.
fucking,
It's like,
yeah, fuck off.
It's weird.
Fuck off.
Can he just get his own segment in the show and it can be the sexual component? We'll just call it Joey Motorboats.
And you guys don't even have to be. You don't have to be here for it. You just leave
Yeah.
the key open. I'll come in here and just.
Just bring some big titties and he'll
And I
stuff
would
his
do
face.
that.
Say,
I
I
would-
love America.
And I would love to stay along. I gotta fucking wake up.
I hear you gotta be
And
up early.
I wouldn't listen. This is my white whale. I think if you I would have taken a nap. I think if you take naps, you're a fucking moron.
Really?
I've been saying this for
You're
years.
an anti-nap guy.
I'm an anti-nap
Well, then you'll
guy, dude.
stay up
Listen,
later.
Dude, if you
Is
have
that
the
You're talking to a huge nap guy.
Listen,
now.
I'm sorry, dude. This is
This
my
guy
white
here-
whale.
Oh, I'm not offended.
If you have the ability to shut your brain off midday when it's supposed to be operating at maximum capacity, there can't be much.
Well,
going on.
Says
so
who?
here's the
Says
adverse
who?
to that.
No.
Yeah, but like,
So
do
at
you realize
night,
what I?
There's no right or wrong way to eat
I
Reese's.
can't shut my brain off at night to go to bed.
Yeah, like I'm up.
Well, you
at-
need-
Probably because you're
Because of
napping
naps.
during the
It's
day.
not
No,
because of
well, then
that.
that's not a nap. You're just sleeping at a different.
well, no, I'm saying that no, because the
Correct.
thing is,
Yeah, it's not a nap.
Well,
You're
no,
just
no, no,
my
no, no.
body's like,
no, because
shut
I may
off.
go to. So here's the thing: is that in
Okay.
my world,
100%,
I might
that's
be
it.
out till 2 in the morning doing what I do.
Yeah.
I might sleep till 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, wake up. Have to get some shit done. Take a 2 hour nap. Let's just say in the middle of the day
45
before I have
is
to go
the,
back out till 2
So
a.m. that next
let me
night.
qualify.
45 minutes is
I think if you're getting
number.
6 to 8 hours straight and then taking a nap somewhere in the middle of
Okay.
the day, that's crazy.
Very
But
rarely will that
if
ever
you
happen
got-
for
If
me.
you have like
I need
a
it.
4 hour, if you have a window where you have to sleep and then wake up and then have to go, that doesn't.
Okay,
Why,
all right,
why are
'cause-
we making rules up? Like if you're tired, sleep.
Yeah.
If you're awake, get some shit
Listen,
done. Like,
I wish I could fall
the
asleep.
time of the
2 p.m. I'll
day
be
is
like-
arbitrary to me, right?
It's
I know.
arbitrary to me because we live on a different schedule than most people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
but-
on like union schedule.
But
which
I'll
is
have
the
those
same
times.
thing every day.
Yeah.
If
You
I'm
wake up-
tired and I go to bed because I'm super tired, I'll go to bed at like 8 o'clock at night, and I'll wake up at 10 and I'll be up all night.
There's sometimes
yeah.
that I won't
You're like
stop
trazodone.
working.
Like,
So
it's
you
like-
either gotta like make it to when you usually go, and then you
Yeah.
can sleep well. But
Usually
like
I'm go until I have to drop, and then I drop, and then I come back and I go.
Till batteries.
Just
drain
don't
and
shit
you
on
fucking
yourself.
go,
But like
yeah.
I don't live like nobody.
don't
tells
say
me
you
what to do
should or
ever.
shouldn't.
That's a good place
Yeah,
to
I
be.
literally do pretty much what I want to do every day of my life.
Yeah, that's
So,
that's
like,
not
and it-
bad.
so it's-
that's life. That you made it.
That's no kids.
No,
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, all right, fair. So like, I also don't have kids. I don't have kids, but like,
Does
I'm
anybody
talking
have
about.
kids on the-
I'm saying like as
No,
far as like
no.
a boss.
Kids, no, nice.
Not that I know.
Kids
No,
free
I'm
I'm always
zone.
around people that have kids. So
We
it's
do
like-
have friends that have kids, and we have to deal with those people.
They're-
The only
they're
problem
living a
with
different
doing
life right now.
what you want to do every day is that when you get used to it, and then you have to do something that you don't want to do,
It's-
it
yeah.
becomes
Well,
like.
again, all right.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
not
because
true.
I agree.
Still,
I
still have to do things I don't want to do. I don't want to go to the DMV tomorrow, but I have to.
Yeah,
you know
no.
what I mean.
DMV rules. It's a-
Yeah.
Because you want to drive.
DMV.
But
Because you
know what
wanna
I
be
mean?
able to keep driving.
So like, I still got to do the things I got to do. It's just like, luckily, I've tried to create a life where I can work on my own
Yes,
accord.
and I understand that, and I'm with that, and I feel the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the point?
The point is that
You like
like
naps.
The point
Don't
is
smoke
that
weed.
If
Back on
you
naps.
ever force back into that issue, it sucks, which it does, but it sucks
Yeah.
always.
But it is beautiful to be able to do what you want when everybody else is doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
99% of the
I like
time.
that
I
you can-
have to do so. No. So that's the thing is that I have to do
percentage,
things.
though.
I have to do things all the time. I'm always. The thing is that like I might not have to work like for somebody else, but if I don't work, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I go nuts.
So I always have to be working on something, but it's because I want to.
Right.
Should we
Yeah,
say
well,
that's
you
a
can-
beautiful thing.
You can boil down success to the fact that you can nap.
Right.
Potentially.
I
Let me
technically
live
can
with
nap.
it.
It's a
Let me live
sign.
with it.
If you're able to nap, then you are successful because otherwise you should be awake.
If I don't tell myself
getting to the
that,
point
I
of
might
success.
end my life.
I just sleep when I
You
want.
might nap
I'm
too
awake
much,
when I
but-
want. Right.
I think you need to have something going
you?
to look forward to. Who's the guy that just like there was this guy who wrote an op-ed or whatever. He just sold his company for like $1 billion or something like that, and he just like, developed major depression because he was like, I have everything I want in life. I can wake up, play video games all fucking day,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking miserable.
What is happiness?
Well, I'm not
If
rich.
it's
There's a
always
difference.
the only
Like-
way you know you're happy is if you don't have it always.
That's an idle mind.
Yeah, you can't.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Okay, so that, I guess I have to clarify, right? Like there might be people that have jobs currently that I have aspirations and goals in my business that I want to make a lot more money than I currently do, but I'm
Yeah.
working towards those things.
Yes.
Right.
and
So,
you're
like,
working in your passion.
in my passion, right? So like I'm able to do what I need to do to get by and make sure that I'm like actively working towards those goals and I can keep my wife happy, but I'm not everything I want to be yet.
Yeah.
By any
Absolutely.
means necessary.
But if you can generally say that you're doing what you want to do in general,
Yes.
nobody. It's never 100.
It's never 100%.
Right.
Even in the field I'm in. Like,
But that's
I
a
might be
beautiful
DJing an
thing.
event that I don't want to necessarily
that's
be at.
that's
creatively.
the entire point.
Yes.
is to be as happy as you can.
In the
we
moment.
don't know how long we have. We don't know how many
Yeah.
times we get to do this.
Yeah.
If more than one, right? So you're trying to be just happy.
Yeah,
Like
and-
I'm not worried about the money as long as like I just need to have enough money to be able to survive and be content, and not worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't need to be
That's,
rich
that's
for me.
the concept. Like someone,
need to be
I'll
happy.
offer you $1 billion, but you have to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What good is that?
yeah.
Right. So that's
And
what it
I'll
is.
speak on behalf of somebody. I'm not going to say what I do for a living. Like I make good money. I'm happy. I have no passion. There's no passion involved in my job. And I'll tell you this, it is draining. And we talked about eating shit earlier. There's beauty in eating shit.
I agree.
You talk to all these guys that quote unquote.
it's really good with
made it.
salt, actually,
Their
if
favorite
you,
times were when they were eating shit.
Yeah.
Like I listen to a lot of podcasts with these comedians. Like they always still talk about like lovingly about those times where they were going to open mics and stuff. Like eating shit is the best time of
Yeah.
your life because
Yep.
you're figuring stuff out.
Right. Well, I mean, those are the times that you're networking with the realest people you're going to
That's
network.
Exactly,
also
also the most
that's
jealous people
reflective.
you've had. It's all people.
Well, no,
like
you're not gonna realize. Okay, so
You don't
people
love
that are-
the eating shit till later.
Yeah, you don't
Because
appreciate
you
it.
realize what you went through.
The
Yeah.
moments-
right? Like
'Cause
you don't
nothing's
love
worth,
it right
nothing's
now.
worth like earning unless you actually had to like struggle for it. You
Well,
know what
because
I mean?
the
Like-
days are long, but the years go quick, right? So you gotta appreciate where you're at, and hopefully you can enjoy those moments even when you are eating shit.
One of my favorite Mac Miller songs, and I generally like early Mac Miller as opposed to late. But when he did the song 2009, right?
Yeah,
And
so
like,
good.
I don't even cry
So,
no more.
like, it's not 2009 no more, and I know what he's saying because in 2010 I was trying to book him at like the Blue Shamrock in Lowell, and I was getting from not Rostrum Records, whatever. It was like $3,000 and 3 people travel, and I didn't book him. But nonetheless, my point being that. Those were the days when he was eating shit. It's not. Like I already know what's behind that door, right? And it's sad that it took him, to that point in his life. And you know what? The Tiny Desks podcast
It's the
version of
best.
that. You don't listen to the album.
So good.
The album is terrible because he's just fucked up and it just sounds terrible. But when he does that and with the strings that he
It's
just
so
met
good.
the people
So good.
30 minutes earlier.
So good.
But the point being is that he looks back at that like here he is. He knows his time is limited when he's writing that song. Like and he's like, I already know what's behind that door. It's not 2009 no more. But in 2009 when he was eating shit, right?
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
coming up and that was the exciting time.
Yeah.
Now he's been through it all. He already knows what's behind that door.
Early Mac was like a happy young kid. It turned something so different. It started so
I
dark.
pretended to be Mac Miller.
I mean, first of all, I love all generations of Mac Miller, even when he was dark.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't,
Kids,
but I
kids.
prefer
But I know what you
his
mean,
earlier
like-
stuff. Yeah,
like,
his
you know.
avant-garde stuff doesn't hit for me as much as it might.
I don't know. His shit with Action Bronson was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Listen,
Red
I'm
Dot
a
Music.
Yeah.
high life and kids and that type.
Yeah.
Kids
for
and
me,
stuff.
for me.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
For sure. It was, I mean,
But it ain't 2009 no more.
no, that was,
Yeah.
that was,
But you're eating shit in 2025, and someday you're gonna say, "Hey, it ain't 2025."
2025 no more.
Right.
I
Yep,
ain't
real
sky
talk.
no more. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was dope.
Rip Mac.
Well, I think that's a good way to leave it. Honestly, is that we just gotta think positively about the times, even when we're eating shit, because honestly, we're gonna look back on it and be like, those were the days.
100%.
Real shit, man.
You
Pun
know?
intended or not, but yeah.
So,
real shit.
Yeah, real
no, but it's true. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely think like we will look back on these times, because I mean I definitely hope that we have brighter days ahead as far as financial gain and and being able to live prosperous. And again, whether or not we're rich or not, I just want us to be happy.
Yeah.
Happy, right? Like I would say this, it's funny, like every single time I have to blow out a candle, you could wish for, $1 million or something like that. I never do that. I always wish to be happy.
What else is there?
That has literally been since I was a little
most
kid.
important thing.
Since I was a little kid, my wish has always been I want to be happy. And I don't know what that necessarily means, because that changes quite often. I didn't think I wanted a wife. I didn't think I wanted kids 10 years ago, but now I do. I definitely want to be financially well off, just so that I can take care of them and I can give them what they need. But it's not because I want all those fucking extra things, So whatever that means to you, I want that for you guys too. I want that for all of you guys in here as well.
You want to be happy.
I want to be happy, right? I want you guys.
If it means anything, I never got the N64 that I wish for.
You didn't play GoldenEye a lot though.
Yeah, my friends.
Is that why?
Is that
why?
at my
but it's-
friend's
but it's
house.
Is that why you're
saying-
so unhappy?
But I'm saying, like, I didn't get
That
the
was like a
N64.
boat back in the day. Like, you don't want to own the boat, but like,
Yeah,
you
but
wanna
like,
be
I
friends
had
with
the
the guy.
PS.
It's nicer to have the
PlayStation.
Break out another 1,000, Joey.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope one day that you get your N64.
One day.
You got
you get it.
get it to break out another 1,000. It's got to be one of your songs. Dog. Got to be one of your songs.
100% word.
That's Mike Stylz, class act. It's Joey Boats. He's not a class act, but I fucking,
not a nice guy.
fucking love this
Not
guy.
a nice guy.
Fucking
He's a
love this
class
guy.
act of not being a.
That is Frank Wolf, my best friend, and I'm your boy Danny Jones. This is Up Late with Friends. We'll see you next week.
Peace. Peace.
1, 2, 3.